Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are here at Resurgent, and we are ready to start the Kings of the Hollow Season 2. My name is Zanrock. I'm here with Paradise One, the Hunter Man. How
Hello,
you doing,
Paradise.
buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Nice, nice. Well, we got some changes coming up for this season. Do you want to go into them a little bit, or do you want me
Yeah,
to,
sure,
to cover
sure.
some of these ones?
Okay, guys. So, for those who have been coming by over the last few months, you know we've been doing the Kings of the Hollow event, the weekly 3v3 tournaments, kind of based around the solo queue mentality, where you can kind of just show up with a team or without a team. And if you don't have a team, we'll put you with people, try to get you a team, try to build some synergy, kind of pick up arena a little bit more. Season 2 now is actually going to be a couple month long season, and the way it's going to work now is we're actually going to have a leaderboard where it's going to track your wins throughout the Kings of the Hollow events over the course of the next few months. So 3 points per win, 3 points per win per series, and at the end of the few months, the top point holders will be invited to a grand tournament in which a prize pool will be there will be a prize pool based on community, interest and whatnot. We'll get to
Sure,
that in
sure.
the future. So we're very excited about that.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like we got some nice little switches going up in here. But for anybody that's a fan from before, I think that this is really going to mean that, if you enjoy just doing some PvP, showing up either for solo queue or as a group, you guys are going to find a way to, get yourself a bigger audience here at Resurgent with the whole system we've got going on with the standing for just playing and winning those series. You're going to be up on the leaderboard, so immediate recognition for pretty much anything you do as long as you're showing up here and playing. And it doesn't matter when you get your points as long as they're in this same season. That should be going on at least a couple months. But with that being said, here though, we'll have to get a confirmation from one of our admins for one of the first matches. Are you
Yep.
excited for today, though, Paradise?
Oh yes, yes. I'm a little overtired and kind of got asked last minute, but I'm hoping we do a good job. We have some really good games today. So real quick, it
Awesome.
looks like our first match is going to be. What are the teams here? We got You're In for Fun versus Mop Dream Reform. So it looks like we're going to be starting in just a few moments here. So hopefully we have some good games today, some really good games. And the first game is starting up right now. So
Yeah,
let's see what we got in store for us.
Yeah, and for anybody new here, we always start at the first match, similar to the way that the main AWC tournaments do. Always, first match is on Nag Grand Arena, and it's a blind pick, so neither team knows what is going in for the starting match here. That being said, Mop Dream, the name was a team that we were very familiar with last season. They were a little bit of a different composition, though. I think this could be kind of interesting, though. As a hunter here, though, Paradise, what do you expect out of these guys here, Ransom?
Well, looks like I'm not sure if the camera's showing over right now, but it looks like Mistweaver Fury KFC versus Shadow Priest. There's a Shadow Priest Assassination Rogue Mistweaver. So we got the two Mistweavers. Game's gonna be starting in just a second. I hope that the camera is moved over right now, but I'm not sure if it's showing. But anyway, so it looks like we're gonna be starting in just a few moments here. It also looks like Survival Hunter. So I honestly feel like the KFC has the advantage here. If they just train that Shadow Priest down, if they can, lock him down, we'll have get some good pressure. And it looks like he's gonna open up with a flare on the Rogue, and they're gonna go right in, right away.
Shout.
Yeah, they got that immediate fear. They've got the pressure that they're wanting to get off the start there. The setup is immediately there as well too. Full trap onto that Mistweaver. And it looks like they're trying to get as much pressure as possible onto that Shadow Priest, forcing the dispersion very early, as well as the trinket simultaneous as well too. So they are not really in a position where they're wanting to be at the moment. If that Fury continues this pressure, I think he's got this in the bag.
Yeah, he's got his battle cry up right now. They're doing a lot of damage to the Shadow Priest. They just need to get this guy away. They force out the cocoon with the stun onto the Mistweaver though. We're probably gonna follow it up with a full trap. He might have to trinket here. I think the Shadow Priest Nacho Bucket is going to be okay though. He's going to be able to sit that one out. Stormbolt onto Nacho Bucket though, and yep, he's in a lot of trouble. The Void Form is popped half in cap onto the Mistweaver, and he might go down and swap onto the Rogue in the evasion. This is a
Very, very
really
well,
not
nice
looking
time from
good.
Nacho there. Absolutely, yeah. But with that evasion there that he's got, they're not really going to be able to get that execute quash pressure into the rogue after the swap there, and that ring of peace is kind of blocking out that fury. But we haven't really seen either of the monks use their way of the crane yet, so expect to see some big healing as soon as that comes out. And speaking of which, there's the first one out from Robert Dream Reformed. Their hunter is taking quite a bit of damage, but at the same time, the Shadow Priest over of Team You're In For Fun also taking quite a bit into a
And there's a
triple leg
triple leg
sweep.
sweep. Oh,
So much
ooh.
damage here. There's the second bubble. He's got a lot of pressure going into him right now. If they keep him around that 20% threshold, that warrior is going to unleash some pain here real quick.
Yep, but Nacho Bucket has dispersed in just 2 seconds. Can he hang on? Nope. Nope. The
No, not
execute
in
will go
time.
up. It just came back up. That was unfortunate right
Oh
there.
man,
Yeah.
absolutely. Very unfortunate timing for him. He just barely had that back active. If they would have just stalled that for just a few more seconds, that would have been it. But very, very strong CC pressure from Mob Dream. You guys are doing
Yep.
a really good job.
Absolutely. So it looks like this RP monk needs to they need to get a stronger opener. It kind of is unfortunate that they got the rogue flared out, so they weren't able to get a good opener. But they were kind of on the back foot the entire game there. So they needed to get that pressure and get that setup going. I feel like You're In For Fun really just dominated that entire time.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree with you there because it just felt like once they didn't get anything that they wanted, either from a sap opener or some sort of strong combination from either the Garrote or Vendetta pop on maybe a double stun off the open or something. If that Shadow Priest doesn't have room to set up his dots and Fury Warrior and let alone the Hunter both getting their crowd control chains exactly how they want, I mean they've got damage in spades, so anybody going against them, especially a cloth user, is going to be feeling some serious pain if they don't get their setup like that. So we'll have to
Yeah,
see if they
and
make any changes. Like,
I mean, I think they can make that work. The strength of the Shadow Priest Rogue right now is if you run they have a really long CC chain, right? If they do a stun into, a silence mind bomb and then into an incap, and there's just a really long chain that they can do right now. So, they really need to get that chain going in order to, get any kind of pressure because, like you said, the Fury Warrior and Punter were just all over that priest. You just couldn't do anything.
yeah, I think that maybe they were attempting to try and hold onto that blind a little longer off the opener there, just solely because of the fact that they did have quite a few members on their team getting crowd controlled at the same time. Which, if you're not really able to get the pressure out from the Shadow Priest, getting a blind on their healer is not really the best time for that because they're going to be in the situation where they don't really have a way to maximize that pressure. And despite the ability to extend the chain off that, losing a couple seconds could be the difference between victory and defeat here. But it looks
Yep,
like
and
they
it
are
looks
going in for the
they're gonna go
same
with the
team.
same
So
comp here,
yeah,
and it looks like we apologize. We may have had the name. It's actually the Young Lads versus Respect. Is that right? Or did I misunderstand that? That's another game. Okay, I apologize. I'm completely
that's
wrong.
okay. That's
Anyway,
okay.
ignore what I just said. This game is about to start. It looks like we chose Tol Viron Arena. I'm not sure how I feel about this map for the RPM. I feel like I guess it's better than a smaller map, but I mean, I don't know. I really don't know how they're gonna be able to connect that much
Well, if the Shadow
here.
Priest is using the really, really wide map space to their advantage, they might find some potential opportunities here in some of the left corners
That's
where
true.
there,
That's
there
very
isn't
true.
any pillars. If they're just kind of like holding back as far as possible, they might find a way to pull out that Fury Warrior and capitalize on some of
All right,
the
so it looks
extra
like they might get the
pressure.
opener here. Yep, there's the sap onto the Mistweaver, Garrote onto the Warrior. No real follow up though. Blind onto the Mistweaver. He's gonna instantly
There's
trinket
that
that.
instant trinket. Yep.
Yep, stun onto the Shadow Priest with the fear onto Match Mills. And into the full trap. Nacho Bucket's probably gonna have to disperse here, and yep, the disperse comes out. They're already looking pretty grim for this RPM.
Yeah, they did get that full trap into a leg sweep that was immediately trinketed there. They got the evasion going, but the monk or the priest is still taking tons of damage despite that cocoon being used from their Mistweaver. They've got the Ring of Peace down, and
Oh,
despite that, they've got a ton of damage. Look at that silence going into the Mistweaver of Team Mob Dream Reformed. He's taking so much pressure. If he wasn't able to get back over to his teleport there, he would have been done. Oh my
yep.
god.
So it looks like we had a full trap on a Match Mills, which was mass dispelled. Nacho Bucket is in trouble, but Vendetta is already out. It actually just ended. I wasn't paying attention. Gonna be
Yeah,
honest there, but yeah. So Nacho Bucket is gonna be in trouble here if they can land anything on a Match Mills. He has no dispersion. All he has left is the life swap. No cocoon for 18. So this could be big trouble here if they can CC that way of the crane coming up
they've got
right
a
now.
ton of pressure. Look at their Mistweaver,
Yeah,
though.
the
He's got it into a
Blood
full
Raina
kidney,
just
off
oh
a sweep,
man.
into a silence. They are not playing around with Team Urine for
Oof.
fun. Oh my
That was a
god.
very hard swap on a Blood Raina, and Blood Raina will go down there, making the
Absolutely,
series
yeah.
tied 1-1.
I'm not sure. I don't think he got a Garrote. I think that was just a kidney into a silence from the Shadow Priest. That was really impressive by Team Urine for Fun there. That was some insane swap pressure. So,
That
I
was a
mean,
huge
they're
swap.
showing why that comp works. If you get caught off of your toes, and like I was saying before on that last swap that they did, you know, if he was not just within like a hair's breadth of getting to his teleport, that monk on the last switch just barely made it in time. This time, not so lucky. He got caught into a second leg sweep right at the end there, and without any trinket, you know, that's going to be a pretty painful death right there.
Yeah, I mean, they got the trinket initially with the blind, so maybe that was, that was kind of their plan, just to get the trinket with the blind, look for a swap on him later, and it worked out. You know, that first swap they got his fortifying brew and his aura mastery heal, and then right there he had nothing left. He had the cocoon, but he was just caught into his stun silence and just couldn't even use it.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
looks like next we're gonna come up to Ashermane's Fall as the map of choice. So
Ooh,
we'll
that's a
see
kind
how
of an
we do this
interesting
one.
pick. I'm
Well, I mean,
curious
it
what
is a
the
bigger
Fury
map.
wants to go there.
It is a
I mean,
bigger map.
it's a bigger map though, but I'm wondering how this is going to benefit either the Fury or the Survival.
Yeah, I was gonna think maybe if they, maybe Dalaran, maybe a much smaller map might be
Yeah.
to their advantage. They can just run the priest down with no real space. But we'll have to see how it's gonna play out here. It looks like we're gonna have the same comps going out, and again, the Blood Raina needs to watch out for that swap onto them. Trinketing the blind instantly, it's a good play. It lines up with your trinket, but they really have to be careful for that swap onto them.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a minute since I've played a Survival. Do they still have access to an explosive trap?
Yeah, they have the knock trap.
Oh, they have the knock trap. Yeah, so then I would definitely agree with you then for Dalaran Sewers. I would have gone for that pick, but maybe they've got some sort of strategy in mind here because they were getting quite a bit of pressure off the initial get go there for a Team Mob Dream. I thought they had it in the bag, but we'll have to see what they do with this. It looks like the matches is starting in the next 10 seconds here. So if you want to see Team Mop Dream here, guys, post in the chat or you're in for fun. YIFF. Let me hear it.
Let's see what we got here. So Exomorph is going to dash all the way around. He's going to try to sneak in and get the sap off the bat. See if he can land that without getting caught out.
It looks like he manages to get in combat, though.
Yeah, he's in combat right now. He's not going to be able to land the sap. The Rogue walks into the flare. That's not good. Garrote on Blood Raina. See if they can follow that up with a kidney or a blind. And no, their whole opener kind of got ruined. Full fear on a Match Mill, stun on a Nacho Bucket. And it looks like they're not really going to get that much of that stun. But the trap comes out. Dispersion is traded out instantly.
Yeah, they don't want to really worry or have to worry about their Shadow Priest any more than they already are doing at the moment. Especially, though, with setting that full trap. He actually did hang on to his trinket for that. And there's the cocoon coming out. That monk has got really only one major cooldown left, and it doubles as his own self-healing. So we'll have to see what Team Urine for Fun is going to do with this setup here, because they are still just trucking pressure into that Shadow Priest at them.
Yeah, I this RPM needs to get. There's a kidney under the hunter right there. He's gonna instantly get out of that. The void form is out though. Blind on the Blood Raina. Let's see if he can hold onto his trinket here. Looks like he'll be fine. They got a lock onto the Shadow Priest there. I think he'll be able to sit that. Shadow Priest is getting counter pressured really hard though. In cap, and then the life swap comes out followed by the evasion. Almost all the defensive cooldowns have been used there.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was a really good attempt by Team Mob Dream before him. They attempted to use a in-cap sap right at the very last moment to prevent the monk of Team Urine for Fun from getting in range for that swap.
Look at your Stormbolt into a trap. He's gonna have
there's
to
that trinket.
There's that trinket. Yeah.
There's no other way. He pretty much has to use it there. But on the bright side, if they do manage to live and do a ton of damage to this hunter, which they are doing right now inside of a smoke bomb, they have their dispersion coming back up in the next couple of seconds here. So if they can hold on just for a little bit longer, that Shadow Priest should be all right for the next round of cooldowns here. But that hunter, on the other hand, is still taking tons of damage.
They do have access to the access to but Nacho
the
Bucket is going to go down really quick. Disperse will come out, traded out with that trap.
Oh man,
Ooh,
that was close. They
this is
they had
not
the
looking good here.
absolutely, yeah, they had a
Nacho
triple
Bucket
leg
has
sweep.
absolutely no defensive cooldowns left. Kick on Amacho Mills. Is he gonna go down here? It's so close.
He's
Can he
got Ring
save
of
him? Can he
Peace.
save
He's
him?
just saving him
Oh
just
man,
barely. That
got
Ring
pummeled
of
there.
Peace keeping the last sliver of health alive on that Shadow Priest, but I don't
Cocoon
know
is
how
up in
much longer.
one. Oof.
1 second, he just barely gets it right before he comes back up. I thought that Fury Warrior had it in the bag. That is insanely good healing, right? Great job over
I
there
think
from
it
Aaron
might be the end of Nacho Bucket here, though. That full trap is
Yeah, that
probably gonna
second
secure it.
trap,
Yep.
he's got away the
No
frame,
more
but
outs, no
unfortunately
more
not enough.
cooldowns. That
Yeah.
trap kind of sealed it right there. That was very good
Oof.
surviving there, though, by Urine for Fun. I did not expect the Priest there to live any longer than he did, so very good job on them on that part. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, they were taken out by this KFC. So
Yeah, very well played by both teams, though. It was very impressive.
absolutely,
Yeah, because I mean, they both had opportunities throughout the matches that really either team could have just swept it either way. Like either the pressure on the Hunter, the quick swaps onto the Monk, the obviously crazy pressure we've seen on the Shadow Priest. I thought that was a really good series. So hopefully we'll get some more of games like that coming up for some of these next ones. But
yep,
what are you looking for
absolutely.
here when you look over that match, Paradise?
Let's see. Hmm. I don't know, man. Like,
Is there anything that stands out to you, like a major play or something you thought was really cool from these guys?
I mean, from the last game, I mean, there's at the end there. Like, I don't know how that priest lived there any longer than he did. Like, that
Yeah,
was.
that was a really well timed Ring of
I don't even
Peace
know. I
by
have
their
no idea. The
sweeper.
Ring of Peace barely kept him alive. I feel like I feel like that Hunter Duelist should have maybe held on to his aspect of the Hawk a little bit longer. Because if he had it there in that Ring of Peace, he would have been able
Yeah,
to finish him off. So,
exactly. Yeah,
but
that
at the
range
end of the
damage.
day, that's just so unfortunate. Living with just 1% health, coming back and then just dying in the next trap. But they were landing their CC very very quick and efficiently. It was just stun trap off cooldown, and at the end, they got all their CC off, and they ran out of cooldown. So it looks like our next match here is going to be starting in just a minute. It is You're In for Fun versus the Team Respect is what it
Team
looks like.
Respect. Okay.
Team
Oh,
Respect.
we'll
Let's
have
see
to
how we
see if
do.
they get it. I mean, You're In for Fun was really showing off that they are still a force to be reckoned with, despite the first series loss there. But we'll have to find out what these guys are queuing up here as our first match loads into that, right?
Yep, let's see what we got going here.
Hmm.
All right, so it looks like we have a Demon Hunter, or
Hero
Holy
Cleave.
Death Knight, Holy Pally, that Hero Cleave, and again
Yeah.
versus the RPM. So again, I feel like the Hero Cleave has a big advantage over here, just shutting that Shadow Priest down, and with the Pally having so many more defensives available to him, this could be pretty bad for Urine for Fun, but we'll have to see how it plays out. I feel like this Hero Cleave could also run at the Mistweaver Monk. It would probably be safer to run at the priest and just lock him down, but I think that's a viable option as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that one. But the other thing that I think comes to mind here, though, I wouldn't count Your End for Fun out of it just yet. I mean, they do have access to that massive spell, though. So one of the major cooldowns for Paladin could kind of get countered there if they do find a shutdown. But the big opener here that they're going to be looking for is going to be a little bit hard to get with that Demon Hunter having that Spectral Sight, the ability to see through stealth. So I'll have to see if that rogue gets some sort of play here. He's trying to avoid him as long as possible. They managed to get him in combat. They got the sap. This could be big.
This could be big. Naxxas trades out Blur immediately, though. I think that was a very good trade. Stun on a match him as it looks like they are going to go into the Mistweaver here, into a DR Gnaw. He's going to use his Fortifying Brew, though, and probably will be able to be okay with that. They do in-cap him low, but I don't think it's going to be enough to take him out right now. Although all of this Hero Cleave is running down really low with the full blind on a Khalifa. He's going to have to use that trinket, get silenced instantly out, and the DK has to trade out both AMS and his Death Pact.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to debate whether or not to hold on to his trinket or use it. There was a bit of a delay there on that Holy Paladin's trinkets there, so we'll have to see if that ends up costing him later in the next part of it. But
Oh,
with that full
the full
kidney,
kidney,
that
he's gonna
might
have
be
to
coming
trade that
around.
purple. Yep. The
Absolutely.
instant mass dispel.
Instant.
His
Oh
melee
my
range is
god,
still up, and he gets
Nacho.
corroded, and will be taken
Nacho
down.
showing off his Shadow
Oof.
Priest skills right there. Great communication between Exomorph and Nacho Bucket. Just locking those guys down. They forced the bubble immediately and got that Mass Dispel right when they wanted it. That was some really great timing.
That was
guys.
well played. Yes,
Well
very
played.
well played. I feel like I said, the monk is a good target. I feel like if they went priest, though, it might have shut him down a little more. I'm not.
They were doing some
positive
serious
on that.
damage.
They were doing some serious damage, but if you really look about it, though, Matcha Mills still has his trinket. They did have to use all of his other defenses, but he still had his trinket, and his cocoon was coming up at 30. We still had swap. Maybe a strategy adjustment might be the play next time. We'll have to find out how they want to deal with it, though.
Yeah, absolutely. With the thing that stuck out to me as well too when you're talking about going after the Shadow Priest, looks like we got a difficulty there, guys. Don't worry about it. We get that fixed. But with the but with the Shadow Priest going after him, though, the other thing it also prevents, in addition to the damage, is that Mass Dispel, which, I mean, that could be a really important moment of, ability to turn the match around there. Because if they don't get anything off of their bubble, I mean, let alone the fact that that's borderline lethal for their Holy Paladin. If they don't get any healing off of it, and they don't get some ability to stabilize and recover, that could be really problematic.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, again, like I said, Monk's a good target. I think training the priest might be the play, though. Shutting down his damage. If you get that, the mass dispel is not going to go off. In the off chance that he does have to cast one, they're going to be sitting on him. They have the Unholy Death Knight by itself has a lot of stops between their interrupt, their normal stun, their pet stun, their pet kick, and then you have the Demon Hunter stops as well. I feel like if they just lock that Shadow Priest down, they're gonna that RPM is gonna have a much harder time actually doing anything. So looks like we might be having a slight technical difficulty. I think we fixed it though, so it looks like the next match is going to be on Tolviron Arena.
Okay, that's an interesting choice.
I'm not sure why the Melee Cleave wants to get on a bigger map, but maybe they have a strategy lined up. We'll have to see how it plays out. So
yeah, the thing that stands out to me as well too from that last set, there was a moment that I was just slipped out of my head right as I said that, of course. That'll come back to me in a second, I'm sure. But basically, got it. The Demon Hunter. If you notice that Demon Hunter's in cap was 5 seconds, which means he's running the long one, which is kind of surprising to me. They didn't actually start on the Shadow Priest then, because you really only want to you really only want to run that in cap for the 5 seconds if you're using it for specifically crowd control, not as a pseudo interrupt sort of thing on a shorter cooldown.
However, it does look like the Demon Hunter has been subbed out for a Boomkin.
Boomy, okay.
So Boomkin DK now instead of Demon Hunter Death Knight. So we'll have to see what they're gonna do here. I feel like the Root Beam onto the Monk and just train the Shadow Priest is the play. They have a lot of CC between Root Beam, Hodge. I'm gonna assume the Paladin's gonna run Rep, but we'll have to see how they want to do that. So go ahead.
I was gonna say if they do run Rep, that combination with Rep and Cyclone, those two do not DR with each other, they are on separate schools, could be very powerful, especially when you factor in that a Root Beam is probably immediately following out of that, and absolutely, that's just a whole long combo chain of crowd control that Monk absolutely does not want to be in. Unfortunately for them, that's Cyclone, while normally undispellable, is by Mass Dispel able to be removed. So we'll have to see if they use that to their advantage with this RPM. But as we're talking about that, they've got some huge damage going out here off the bat. They've already got a little bit of pressure coming out from that Unholy DK. The Incarn has been used by the Boomkin, and they're trying to get as much pressure as they can, forcing that disperse onto the Shadow Priest. It looks like they're trying to set up their CC here. Do you think they got anything
at the same time? That was Incarn. Monk still has everything. Absolutely. They just got dispersion. I think they needed to get more with that. Death Knight uses Unholy Transformation. They did a lot of damage there, and they really didn't get that much. So I'm not sure. You know, they got a full cyclone on a match, so it looks like they're gonna switch to the rogue now. He's gonna have to trade out the cloak right there. I think he'll be able to
And they
stabilize
might
with
have
just
to
that.
trade out the bubble,
And
but
never
that's not
mind,
happening. Yeah,
that
I'm
was
not
a
sure.
very,
I
very.
almost wonder if that was. I wasn't watching the Shadow Priest. Was he precasting MD?
No,
I
he
mean,
didn't bubble. He didn't. He
you know,
didn't
that's the thing.
participate.
I know he didn't bubble, but I mean, maybe there was like, sort of,
Maybe it was
well,
just a
I'm
delay.
screwed anyway, sort
Maybe
of.
it was just a hesitation. That was a lot of damage relatively quick, but
Yeah, getting caught in that kidney though, oof, that's it's pretty painful though if you can't find a way out of that. But really, really well played by Yearn for Fun. That was impressive. A really, really good turnaround from the game, their series that they had before there. So well
yep,
played by those guys. Absolutely
definitely.
showing that they are class in the tournament. So for the moment, but
Yeah.
let's see
So
what we've
yeah,
got coming up here.
just thinking about that last game though, for just using Incarn and the Death Knight cooldowns, they really only got dispersion. I'm not sure if they were controlled throughout it. But I feel like with that kind of pressure, you should be able to get a little bit more. Maybe they didn't use their crowd control as effectively as they could have. But they need to get more with those cooldowns. Those are like long
Yeah,
cooldowns, they're
absolutely.
strong cooldowns. Need to get more than just dispersion with that. So, maybe adjusting their strategy a little bit more, maybe tightening up the crowd control a little bit. I really think, they could pull this off here. So
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you on that one, and that's something as well that I'm kind of surprised we're seeing here with these, uh, large map setups here, and we're just not seeing some of these crowd control from the casters that we're used to. Now, the Shadow Priest, that's a kind of a given, being that they have to be at point blank to do their fear. But for the rest of them, though, like I'm really surprised that we're not seeing like some Cyclone swaps here, maybe some other sort of setups with the root beam, because really they kind of allowed them to just get all the pressure that they wanted there off the bat, and that holy priest, or sorry, holy paladin, felt the brunt of that very, very quickly.
yeah. And again, he could have saved it with the bubble, but at the end of the day,
Yeah, if that master spell's there, I mean, they don't have
they
a
had the
shutdown
master
for it.
spell, and they really didn't get much from the
Yeah.
RPM. They got dispersion. Pretty sure Monk had every cooldown available at the end of that game, so that was well played by them. But it looks like our next series is going to come up right now, which is Torrent versus the Young Lads.
All
Um,
right, I think both
so
of
the
these
Young
two teams are
Lads
new.
are, I know the Young Lads, are a very solid team. I played with some of them myself.
All
I'm
right,
looking forward to see what they have in store for us today.
well, we'll see what they've got once we get into this match load here
I'm
from
going to
Magnet.
expect an RMP, and I see an RMP. Oh, never mind. We see a HMP. I apologize. The hump cleave, as many people call it for the HMP. And we're going to be fighting a Moonkin Demon Hunter Holy Priest from the looks of it.
Oh,
So,
playing that freeze mage too. All
yeah,
right.
with the Frost Mage. So, the way that they're going to be playing this is they're going to be cross CCing. They're going to probably trap the healer, polymorph the DH, and just all in this Boomy. So, every single setup that this priest hunter mage is going to have is going to be a 3v1 because of their cross CC capabilities they have. So you got to be really careful, with they have to be really on their toes using their defenses, because Frost Mage and Survival has a really large amount of burst that they can pull off really quick. So they got to be ready to use something.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing that I'm looking forward to as well here is making sure if that disc priest versus the holy priest can get in and do a follow up CC after the incaps from both the polymorph and the trap are traded out there. So I have to see what these guys want to do with this. Looks like they've got
So it
some
looks like
initial
their target
pressure.
is going to be the Boomy here. He's going to get a full stun on the Holy Priest here, followed by a trap and a polymorph onto the Demon Hunter. Big damage on the Thunder Laser. They're committing coordinated assault there, and he might just go down, and will go down in just one trap.
Wow,
Here.
did
You got to
not
be
want to.
scared of that burst there. You really need to be scared of that Survival Frost Mage burst. Like I
Yeah, and
said, you got to
that's
be
the thing
on
as
your
well too.
toes.
That mage did not use veins or array. That's crazy. Like that's a ton of damage coming out from either the survival or just the passive setup that these guys already had just from their basic class kits.
It was
But
all the it was an Orb Comet Storm and the Survival Hunter's Burst. That's all they need. They force cooldowns with that. If they can get that set up, full polymorph onto the Demon Hunter with a full trap onto the Holy Priest. Like I said, if the Boomkin's alone, every single trap is just a 1v3. They need to get ready to use something every time. So got to be really careful with that.
Yeah, I'm almost kind of surprised there. I was kind of expecting Boone could live a little longer than that. The legendary defenses of Celestial Defender there not really shining through very much.
Well,
But
Celestial Defender only helps so much if you're getting healed a little bit, but
well, yeah.
I mean, you
I
get the
just
slight damage, you know.
the magic damage reduction part
Yes,
of it.
yes,
Just from all of the individual hits of that, I figure it
yes.
would have been a little bit stronger. But that being said, though,
Exactly.
kind of surprised though that the Holy Priest didn't really use anything off the bat there. I mean, he had Trinket available. He ate the full trap, but didn't have Holy Ward for it. So, the tip for any Holy Priest that might be watching from the chat there, if you're using your Holy Ward with at least 15 seconds remaining before the gates open, the buff will stay up when you're exiting the arena. So it's already starting on its cooldown, plus it's active for the next couple of seconds there. So unless
At
that
the same
mage was
time,
doing some like
well, you have
200 IQ plays and dispelling it ahead of time, that's pretty impressive.
well, like I said, you got to think about it. You have a priest and a mage, both with an offensive dispel, and you know how many trash buffs does a holy priest really have? You know, maybe a renew. I think it may be two or three.
Howard Ford.
Yeah, so I mean, like they can get that off pretty quick in the opener. It looks like that's what they did, unless he didn't have it up because he was able to.
He might have
Shigaku
pound,
was able to
too.
get the stun followed by the trap right out, so he didn't. They didn't have to waste anything to get it off. So
Yeah, that's why I was kind of wondering though. I mean, I'm almost if he noticed that happened or if he was expecting it to go off. Because I mean, if I'm playing as a Holy Priest and I'm getting into a CC when I know I had Holy Ward up, like that's probably an instant trinket from me. Like,
yeah, I mean, you also have to think. You know, the mage didn't use, but he used Helmet Storm and Orb, and the hunter committed his
he's
2 minute
probably
cooldown,
trying to
probably
save.
damage trinket also. So like that's their burst. You gotta use something there. You can't just let them sit it and just do whatever. You know. Yeah, you got to use something at that point. So let's see what we're gonna follow, and we're gonna go into a triple DPS. Young lads
Wow.
going for the real BM meme here. It's gonna be Survival Hunter, Fire Mage, Subtlety Rogue against
Wow, okay.
Discipline Priest, Boomkin, and I'm not sure if the third is joining.
There might be a
Maybe
glitch
a
in
technical
the
issue
spec.
here.
Yeah, well, the spectator screen sometimes does do that. The Demon Hunter looks like he's loaded.
There it is. And
But,
so it's gonna be the triple DPS meme dream here versus the same team, but it looks like the Holy Priest decided to switch up the discipline. So see, after it looks like they're running the Dark Archangel, so they might be able to get a really quick kill. But you have to remember, you know, all these classes are mobile, and Stun God as a subtlety rogue can peel very well. You know, he has all those, you know, the shadow dances, the cheap shots. This comp has a lot of control, so you know they could probably. I think they could pull this one off, but we'll have to see how it plays out.
oh, I definitely think so as well too. And another really tricky bit here running Fire Mage sub. If you'll notice, the rogue is running Shadowy Duel, which isolates the target and the rogue from the vision of anybody else in the match. Which means that if there is an already occurring spell in the air, like say Greater Pyroblast, for example, and you Shadowy Duel it, the damage still
Thunder
comes
Laser's
in,
gone. There it
and
is.
yeah, he's gone inside the initial burst.
Oof.
Wow.
I mean, you got to respect the enemy's cooldowns, man. That was Shadow Blade's combustion and coordinated
Smoke
assault,
bomb. Yep.
and there was nothing used. There was no trinket, no PS. You know, you got to respect your enemy's cooldowns, especially if there's 3 DPS using all their offensives at the same time. So
Yeah, those guys are going off right there.
they just popped off on them. You really need to respect those offensive cooldowns. You know, you can't just sit a full trap and just expect nothing to happen at that point. But it looks like the young lads will be the victors of that match there.
Well played by those guys, and yeah, and I think we actually did see that Shadowy Duel there used as well too, and that's another thing where you kind of have to just know ahead of time that you're going to be taking the damage regardless of whatever your screen says, because even if your target is now removed from your healing bars and it's no longer there, you got to know that he's still taking damage. That's where you really got to use things like AoE as a barrier.
Playing with Stun God myself, it is very satisfying seeing somebody go into Shadowy Duel at 20% and then come out dead.
So come out dead.
Out dead. That's always a great thing to see. So it looks like the young lads will win that series, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that is correct.
Let's see what we got up next. It looks like up next we have Torrent versus Twisted Fury, I believe.
Okay, I don't think we've seen either of these two teams.
I don't think we've seen either of these teams yet. Yes, Torrent. Is it Twisted Fury? Is that?
I
don't think that's.
Think so?
That's what they. Hold on. I'm
Get a
confused here.
confirmation.
Hold on. One second. 1 second, my friends. All right.
1 second.
Torrent versus respect.
Respect. Okay. Well,
Torrent
I have some
versus
respect.
Yes, gotta respect the respect. So it looks like we're gonna have Torrent versus respect. We did see respect already. So hopefully,
let's see if they want to change anything up from their previous outing.
I think that maybe a strategy swap or a comp. I mean, they did make a comp swap, but it didn't really work out. So I think we'll have to see what Torrent has. I don't think we've seen Torrent yet, have we?
Oh no, I don't believe
we haven't
so.
seen Torrent. So maybe their Hero Cleaver Boomy DK will go really well into whatever Torrent has to offer. We'll just have to find out. And just
very possible. But hey, that's kind of the benefit of with this whole system here at Kings of the Hollow. You can queue up. We'll find you a team with either if you're in a group already or if you're just queuing up a solo. We'll try to match you with something that's viable, so you can have your chance to shine no matter what you're. But sometimes you'll get situations where it's like, Boomy DK, oh, we farmed that, or Boomy DK, oh god, that's so hard for us. It'll make the matches interesting one way or another. But we'll have to see what these guys.
Yep, in just a few minutes here, we'll get there. A few seconds, hopefully, this will get set up real quick. Let me take a quick poll in the chat. How you guys? What do you guys think of that triple DPS team last round? Can you get a thumbs up or a thumbs down? You feeling the triple DPS stream? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Give me a 1 or a 2. 1 for yes, 2 for no. See what you guys felt about that one. Triple DPS, maybe triple DPS can make a comeback. I don't know if any of you guys played in Cataclysm.
Oh yeah, no, I remember those days.
That was a different time. That was a different time. That was
the
very
most degenerate version of triple teams, though. Like, that's so filthy.
What, you don't like having WoG to top your team? And then
3 times with double DK, dude. Oh my god.
Or whatever. Yeah, there's there's
that
Red
was...
DK Rogue, Red Hunter DK, I think was one. Red Hunter Rogue. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I ran into that a few times. Double DK Ret. That was an abusive comp in Cataclysm.
Oh god.
That shouldn't have existed with Girthalak, dude. That's so ridiculous.
And then you had what was that strength that Cunning of the Cruel with Violet Shadows with a legendary rogue, and then the Rets and the DK.
Yeah, the strength ones is Bone Link Fetish.
Yeah. Oh man, that was
was some insane damage if they had any kind of PvE.
My goodness.
Oh man.
Well, let's hope that the young lads don't start a trend here. How about that?
Well, at least if they don't queue up something along the lines of that. I'm okay with what they ran there. That was actually kind of interesting.
That was pretty interesting.
Using the rogue CC to really just isolate a single target and turn it into a 2v3, even without a healer, that's still a pretty winnable fight.
It was fun to watch. Yeah, I will say, pretty gimmicky, but very fun to watch.
Quick, but yeah.
I mean, but at the same time, triple DPS is seen for a reason. Because if they don't get that win, they have that team has no healing.
That's nothing. Yeah, exactly. They really have to win off that. So if they don't,
it's pretty interesting. Well, at least I'm gonna be biased here. At least they didn't have a tank in their team.
At least they didn't have a tank. Paradise coming in with the hot takes at this moment. I believe you and our boy Sidu have something of the same mind of that by reading Twitter.
Maybe just my opinion, but what do you know? All right, so it looks like we're going to be getting going in just a minute. They're having a issue.
I believe they might be switching off to a different character.
Yeah, it should be starting.
Beat the load screen, boss. But once we've got that going on here, guys, if you love seeing this sort of content, you love supporting PvP, and before we get our other crowdfunding stuff going on here in Blizzard, thank you guys for those new toys that they're adding this next patch. Thank you guys for showing up and supporting this, because really, we're doing this for you guys, and we wouldn't be here without you. So thank you guys very much for this. It's always helpful. But with that being said here, Paradise, is there anything you're looking forward to, either on a comp switch or anything else here? Are you expecting to see like longer matches, shorter matches, or just the best play possible?
Being not a fan of dampeners, shorter matches.
No damp.
But who am I to talk? I played Jungle Cleave and Legion. We love the damp, but not nowadays damp puts you to sleep. So let's see what we got here. It looks like we got the Boomkin Demon Hunter this time. They subbed up the DK for the Demon Hunter with the Holy Paladin, and we're gonna have a Demon Hunter Arms Warrior Holy Priest. So we got a
Mhm.
DH Warrior and a DH Boomy. What do you think's gonna come out of here right now?
I mean, with a Holy Priest, I really do like that Chaos Cleave potential there. With that 4-second Unbreakable Stun that Holy has access to, that could be pretty powerful if they wanted to go into something, because then it allows them to use either the Stormbolt or either the Two Fears or even Mind Control, really, against the Paladin on the Team Respect. But at the same time, there, that Boomy DH, if they do manage to eat off the Holy Ward, if he's running it with some sort of like quick CC or something, you know, you know,
Yeah, they're probably
would
in capping
be
off if he is running it.
yeah.
But Twisted Fury looks like he is running the reverse magic, so a Hodge or a Root Beam he could probably get himself out of. The Hodge is going to go out instantly. Choose not to reverse that there.
They've got the
They will
melee
go to
wings
Root
coming
Beam
out
and then
immediately, though.
yeah, melee
That's
wings
kind
out
of
immediately.
interesting.
They really want to go offensive here.
I'm kind of curious what they're going for here, because I mean he's going back to start casting here with melee wings up. Kind of a curious decision, but they've got the damage leveling into both the Boomkin and a little bit into the Warrior. They did get that really powerful incap off onto the Holy Priest. Unfortunately, it's a little DR there though.
Yeah, it
But
looks like they
they're
traded out Darkness there as well. They got Darkness with all their cooldowns there, but the Boomkin also uses a Bark
yeah,
Slam.
he
I'm not sure
uses.
why.
Well, he was taking a little bit of pressure, but with the melee wings up, I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
really
not
think
sure
that was
about that,
amazingly
but
necessary.
it's
That being
okay.
said, though, he also used his Incarn, so this is going to be kind of curious situation here, as the Holy Priest still has quite a few healing cooldowns available, especially with that casting aura going out
Well,
here.
but the full Cyclone goes out, Full Moon comes out, and it'll get to trade out that parry. So he'll
Yeah,
probably be fine right there. And it looks like a DR Stormbolt on the high rise. It looks like both these teams are going to stabilize pretty well over here.
and there's that stun cap we were talking about over on the Paladin there, getting the opposite Demon Hunter into an incap off of that. He's probably a little annoyed from that position there. But a full Hodge going into the Priest, into a Chaos Nova. They've got a Root Beam down. Unfortunately, I believe it is on the Warrior, though. Not exactly the target they were looking for. And speaking of which, Rep goes on to the Warrior. So they've got all sorts of target swapping going on here. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to switch over to the Priest, because I do see a greater fade beam from the Priest, dodging a little bit of that damage, but landing a very powerful AoE fear right there. Unfortunately, it's not really going to get a trinket out of that Holy Paladin. I don't really seem to have enough damage to get something forced off that from Chaos Cleave, but I don't know,
Yeah.
Paradise. What do you think here? Do you think they've
I don't
got
know.
anything?
I think this Chaos Cleave needs to pick their target. You know, they need to tunnel something down. I think they found their target there. There's them on the Paladin. Melee
that
wing
Holy
needs all
Paladin?
of his defensive cooldowns available. He's gonna trade Bubble out instantly and save everything
Ooh,
else.
this.
That's pretty safe right there. So
Yeah, I mean it's safe, but at the same time, they're kind of lucky that they managed to get the pummel onto that Holy Priest. They could have gotten dispelled pretty easily. Now,
that's
that being
true.
said, they do have Apotheosis up, so his heals are going to be coming back. The really strong big cooldowns that Holy Priest has. You'll notice under the tracker there, that big blue and white hand there. That is their primary healing cooldown with Serenity. That's going to be a big burst heal that they have off cooldown. If they do get those quick heals coming back, the cooldown of that does take large chunks of its cooldown off each time they get the heals. But at the same time here, that melee wings being used and running away with it, though, they're trying to stabilize here, and I don't really think the Respect has much going on, at least until this Incarn is now available again.
I think they have found their target, though. The Paladin is completely out of cooldowns now.
You're absolutely right
Get a
about
stun
that.
onto the Holy Priest here, and Borizano has no defenses available for himself. But full cycle.
Oh no!
Oh no! Is this gonna be it? Is he gonna go down here?
He's got that full cycle. If he gets,
he's got Guardian
Spirit. Come on!
Can he use it? He's not gonna use it. He's just gonna use the Serenity and save him.
Yeah, the Serenity managed to get him about 30-40% of his health back, and they managed to hang on to Guardian Spirit. Very, very nice trade out of them. But with that Incarn active, the bear form that the Moonkid is currently sitting in is not where he wants to be right now. They've got the damage, though. Look at that Holy Paladin getting into a first stun, into a second stun. He's got the bop available, but that's going to get removed.
Though. Yep.
Oh, man. This is so much pressure for these guys. They're trying to switch over a little bit onto the Warrior from Team Respect, switching the damage from from Team Respect into the Warrior. They've got as little bit of pressure still onto the Holy Paladin. But once this Warrior gets back here, despite those roots, I don't really know if the Paladin has much left. I mean, he doesn't have
all he has is his Holy Avenger, and I guess his coming back up right now, Divine Favor. But at the same time, that could be purged, that can be kicked out of that, and then that would be the end of him. Looks like he's on Stun DR, though. I think he'll be fine for a little while. He's got his wall coming back as well. But it looks
Got
like
the blade
they were
sword. Oh no, that fear is a little bit unfortunately timed. They're right in the middle of that triple blade storm though that they got going on. So a little bit unfortunate, but at the same time, that paladin doesn't really have access to really any of his double hands cooldowns. That doesn't
no more
really help
popper
him.
bubble probably for the rest of the game, but he will trade out his Holy Avenger and his melee wings right there.
We've
Will
got
get
quite a
locked
bit of
out
damage here.
into a
Oh
DR
my!
stun,
Oh,
though.
triple stun! The triple
Oh,
Chaos Nova is going to lock down. The warrior has darkness. He is sitting on 1% health, and unfortunately, the re-stun from the Demon Hunter of Team Respect, locking out that Holy Priest and shutting him down before Guardian Spirit is usable. But they're not out of this yet, though. They may get a cross kill onto that Holy Paladin. Look at that stun that he got there. He's got so little health left. I believe they might try to land something here if they get any kind of
they're going to trade the darkness out, but he...
Oh, no! They had it so close.
So close.
I think they're probably gonna to drop it right after this one. But man, that was a really close attempt. I really wanted to see that a double DPS versus a healer DPS 2v2. Oh man. But yeah, it looks like they are probably gonna drop here after.
Yeah, I think this this Chaos Cleave, they finally kind of found their footing halfway through that game, finding their target, on the pally. And for both teams, some of their CC was a little scuffed, but that's just bound to happen, every once in a while. But I think once they found that Holy Paladin as their target, they were rotating through they're burning his cooldowns. They were burning through him pretty efficiently. I think if they had started on the Paladin, they would have been a lot more scared. Paladin might have been a little more scared throughout the game.
Absolutely, yeah. With those 5-minute cooldowns that they have, that's pretty not good when they have 2 or 3 minute damage cooldowns and you only really get one use of either of the bubbles. But with this Holy Priest getting kicked here, I think that this should be the end of him in a couple seconds.
Yeah, I mean, he does have Guardian Spirit back. We'll see. I think that they really want this win here, but
they really want this. Yeah, there's the
right there.
That should be the end of it. He's got his form coming out there, but very well played by them both on Team Respect and Team Torrent. That was a really impressive job. I could have gone either way there, both with the cross kill, the damage that they had on the Holy Paladin, the damage that they obviously pumped into the warrior. If that Demon Hunter hadn't got a restun after that darkness came down, that Holy Priest had Guardian Spirit. That would have been a really, really clutch heal for them. So very well played by both sides. Really looking forward to this.
Tell me if I'm wrong though. When the warrior died, was he in the darkness?
I believe he was in the darkness, but it's not a guaranteed though.
I know, but I've never seen someone die through darkness. That's just really unlucky then if he's running the big one.
Well, yeah, if he's running big darkness, it is a 70% chance. I mean, it's not the worst in the world, like a 30% chance roll of the damage coming through it. If you're at 1% health, I mean, you really only need like one melee tick,
I mean, that came out a little too late, but it's at the end of the day, you really think. I mean, I would think I'd be safe in a dark.
Oh yeah. If you're
think you'd be fine. So
yeah, sometimes that happens. I've seen it happen. I think we've even seen it happen before here. I believe I think when Thugonomics was running his Boomkin DH cleave, they actually had somebody die through a darkness on their team. Before when they were at I want to say like 5% health or something like that.
Oh yeah, I mean when you're that low, there's a chance.
Yeah,
I mean even like 10-15%. I feel like I would feel safe from that, and I feel like the warrior felt safe too. Yeah, because he had his parry available, but chose not to use it. And I would have probably not used it either if I was in a darkness at 15%. I guess he just really got unlucky with the rolls on the damage there.
Yeah, so sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yep.
But yeah, the only time I've ever seen somebody die from like above 20 or 30% inside of a darkness is when I had landed a Chaos Bolt in midair and they had thrown the darkness down and it was already in transit. They just either didn't get lucky.
Yeah,
it was more damage than they had health left.
The amount of times that I've use my aspect of the turtle with the bolt just going off, and one of those happens.
I've seen that happen before.
One of those happens right there. All right, so we're gonna be starting the next map right now. It looks like it's going to be Ruins of Lordaeron. Will be the map choice.
That's kind of interesting. I think that. Yeah, that I think kind of does favor the Chaos Cleave here, just solely because they don't really have to cast very much. I mean, the Holy Priest a little bit, but only when they don't have procs.
It does look like we got a comp change.
But you're absolutely right. Going straight into the hardest turbo imaginable here. We got the Enhanced set it up here with a monk for some extra pressure as well too. This could be pretty painful for Team Respect. We'll have to find out. Whew.
Yeah, so we got the Mistweaver Beast. I'm sorry, the Mistweaver Turbo Cleave versus the Boomy DH Holy Paladin. So I honestly feel like this Turbo Cleave they could run at this Paladin.
Absolutely.
They can run at this Boomkin. They can run at either of them, and they can get a lot of pressure out, especially if they use their fear defensively. And just fear the DPS off, and if any of them shrink it, they just get incapped into a hex or whatever
Yeah.
into a leg sweep. They can just run at this Paladin down, and they have the purge for the bop. They can purge off the divine favor and kick them. So that's not really a very reliable cooldown if the shaman is on his toes with that. So I'm gonna have to see how we play this out. I think Paladin and the Boomkin is gonna be the targets right here.
Yeah, and I think that you might see them start off on the Boomkin just solely because of with the Paladin's got those the hand of either protection or sacrifice, either trading in his own cooldown on the Boomkin or the damage from the Boomkin onto himself, and then a switch over there once they've got all their the cooldowns available. That could be some really strong pressure from this Turbo.
The Turbo decides to pre-cocoon that go. I think was that a mistake?
I'm not sure. I mean, he did use Incarn there, and he's also trading out both trinkets and Barkskin there. So, I mean,
interesting. Okay,
as soon as this Boomkin
they're
runs
really
out,
winning here.
Yeah.
They got a beam on him though. He still has trinket, or he's got a lot available.
He's got the melee wings available. And he is running away pretty well. I mean, he's a little bit low in health, but he's going to get that back up as soon as he gets around the corner.
Yep.
Now, the first of the Star Surge comes in. He is unfortunately not going to get that that armor protection off on the shaman there with Astral Shift. But they've got the Ascendants coming out. They've got the Heroism coming out, or Bloodlust in this case. And a lot of damage being traded out there, forcing the bubble.
Instantly
there it is, yeah. And this could be an interesting situation, though, because they don't really have their burst for another, at least a minute, maybe two. But at the same time, the Boomkin doesn't really have anything else. But this triple stun, though, oh my god, they double Chaos Nova into a Hodge combo in the monk.
Into his Hodge, into his Star Surge. Cocoon available, Fortifying Brew available, but just no trinket to get him off. That was unfortunate.
Wow, respect. Earning that respect right there. Oh man, they just shown up here and shown they came to play. That was a really nasty stun combination from those guys. So very well played by them. I'll have to see if we see either. Well, hopefully we see either of these two at T.
Yep. But, that combo there was nasty. Like he had a lot of defenses available, but you got to be really careful with your trinket. You know, a lot of what I try to tell people is don't trinket unless you're 100% going to win if you trinket, you're 100% going to lose if you trinket, or your partner's going to 100% die if you don't trinket.
Yeah, that's it. You've really got to use
really good cooldown. I feel like a lot of people kind of just blow it. Just like screw it. I'm going in. But you got to be really careful with that because right there, I don't know what he trinketed before, but that was the moment he needed to have that ability up. So you got to be really careful with that.
Yeah, I think they timed that pretty well as well too, because I'm almost positive that was, I think, a full Hodge too. So that was really unfortunate for that monk. Not really much he can do about that if he does not have his trinket. So really impressive play from those guys. Team Respect.
Yes, sir.
You got mine.
So, let me read this. So it looks like so Team Respect did win that series 2-0, if I'm not mistaken. So. Let's see what game we're gonna have our next game coming up in just a minute here. Just gotta wait for our good old tech guys to give us the what we're doing.
Give us the.
So it looks like they need a quick minute or two. So we'll So
let me talk to you about this one though. Was there anything that really stood out to you though, Paradise, on that last match? Because I really felt like maybe if they stuck with the Chaos Cleave, I felt like that was doing pretty well for them, at least with the Holy Priest variant. Not sure if it's maybe he's unfamiliar with Monk or something, but it felt like they were extending that a bit.
I mean, I think with the Mistweaver, I think he did fine with the Mistweaver. I don't know. I mean, I know that I'm not sure if that cocoon was really necessary. I mean, he was at 100%, and I don't think he was in line. I'm pretty sure he used that on himself also. I couldn't see if they were all.
I think it was, but
I don't know if that was really important. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, he was running the short cocoon, so he did have it up at the end there.
45 seconds.
Yeah, you just got to be careful with the trinket there, because like I said, he had his Aura Mastery heal, he had his Fortifying Brew, he had his cocoon. just didn't have a trinket to get it off. And they you know, the paladin had they burned through bubble, they burned, I don't know, I think they burned through everything but his trinket. So if they had another setup on him, they probably
they could have gotten something.
Yeah, just needed a little bit more right there. Just got to be really, you know, careful with that. So
yeah, the other thing I'm thinking. Sorry, sure, go ahead. No, you first.
Okay. The other thing I was gonna say was their what I noticed from Team Respect was their opener was a little interesting. So the Boomkin kind of ran in, kind of bashed the monk, and then kind of ran away. So I'm not sure if that was a miscommunication or something with that. Maybe he was trying to, you know, just bait the trinket, thinking they were just gonna open up on him. But you know, what I was thinking was, you know, maybe they were trying to get that trinket just for that go right there, and their whole goal the whole time is just to set up on that monk. So, you know, it worked out in the end. So.
Yeah, that could be a play. The other thing I'm almost wondering as well too is if they are familiar, in fact, with running a Holy Priest. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they could have run a turbo with the Holy Priest, because against the Paladin team, you know, that's a massive spell right there. They could have just ended it on that combo if they managed to use that casting protection or something. Because otherwise, that Boomkin would have had to have the forethought. Oh, he's not kickable. You know, I have to use Cyclone to CC, but if he's already casting a massive spell, you're not going to win that race. And he, you know, gets the massive spell, and you've got a turbo cleave beating your face off with, you know, 5% health available.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like we're going to be starting our next game in just a second, which is Mop Dream versus the Young Lads, which is again the RMP /
the triple
DPS versus the Mop Dream. And so we're going to have to see how that goes in just a minute. Right before I just want to do a little pitch real quick. If you want to follow us on Twitter and on Twitch, and any donations and subs directly support the player prize pools for our King of the Halls event at the end of the season. So, you know, any kind of donations, any kind of subs that go to this channel will be directly, directly related to the prize pool for the players. So just wanted to put that out there real quick. So it looks like we're going to be getting into our first match right here, I'm sorry, for the Young Lads versus the Mop Dream.
Yeah, we've seen both of these two teams here, and I'm expecting pretty good things out of this match, because these guys have shown that they're really, really solid in terms of both mechanics and gameplay here. So we'll have to see if they go for any curveball strategies. Obviously, we've seen one of them pull out a triple DPS, but both of these two teams, I think, are pretty strong.
Looks like we got a challenge in the chat. Young Lads won't P triple DPS against the Mop Dream. Prove me wrong. Is that a challenge?
I mean, that is a challenge. I don't know if they're wanting to take the bait this early.
We'll see.
Maybe if they lose first match or something in like a really bad way, or if they win in a really wrong way.
I mean, last game they kind of dominated the first game and triple DPS for the BM victory. So we'll see. We got a wink by Stun God. Well, we'll have to find out in just a few moments within a Grand Arena popping right now.
And as we've
got locked in.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we've said before, Nagrand is a blind pick, so we won't know until the gates open for what these two teams are running. But looks like we are seeing some of the standard setups with a little bit of a thug cleave coming out here over on Lads. That Hunter Rogue set up with a disc.
Yep, and we got again from the Mop Dream, the Mistweaver KFC Survival Fury Warrior. So Stun God is going to be playing sub again. Doesn't look like he's playing the Shadowy Duel, so they don't have to worry about that cooldown quite, unless he switches to it right now, but don't quote me yet. But yeah, so the Thug Cleave's opener is really the most important part. I'm going to expect them to either open up on the Monk really hard, or get a good setup on the Hunter here, just sap the Monk and just get a solid opener on the Hunter. They might even choose to open Warrior and then do a sap Hunter and then Kidney Trap on the Monk. You know, Thug Cleave is very cool because it's got so many different ways they can just do a setup. They have a lot of control of the game. But the gates are opening right here, and we'll see how they decide to open this one up.
And there's the first flare coming down here. Unfortunately for the team of Mop Dream, it doesn't look like they're catching the road. He is attempting to start the setup here, and does not get the sap, but he does get the kidney, though. He is going super hard. So much damage being burned right here. They've got the blades coming out here. They've got the...
and a hard swap onto the Hunter, though. Trap him on his Warmaster, and a hard swap onto the Hunter.
Oh, man. They are not playing around here.
DR Sap on a Blood Rain. He doesn't want to trinket that. He really
There's
got the
that
turtle
turtle.
into the blind. Oh man, trinket into a DR Fear. Oh man, they are just not playing the game right now.
Yeah, with that vanish into a full kidney, this could be some serious pain if Duelist does not find a way out of there, and he's not going to do that if he's caught into a cheap shot there into a smoke bomb. Very impressive from Team Young Lads, just showing up here. That power of the Thug Cleave, just showing off how much crowd control they can dump into a healer.
Yeah, that was just a very long CC chain. So if let me see if I can remember. It was a kidney into a trap when he got away, trap him into a DR Sap, into a DR Kidney, into a triple DR Mind Control, into a bomb, into a blind, into a DR Mind Control, and then he bombed the cocoon. So let me see if can I get the healing done that game? I'm trying to curious how much healing that Mistweaver is actually able to put out right there, but I don't think I have that information up for me right now.
Yeah, I mean, either way though, that's just impressive for how much CC they were able to throw out there. I'm honestly impressed that they've timed that down to where they actually managed to string together a second crowd control chain with a second DR'd trap using something I can't think of off the top of my head. I mean, you really have to get a sap off of that into a trap to land the second one. There's really no other way for that comp to DR in Cap School.
There's just so much
really impressive from those guys.
And like I said, playing that comp, there's so many ways they could open. They could open the monk, get a trinket, and then
the hunter just as hard too. Yeah,
they could sap the monk, or they can even sap monk into a stun trap or sap hunter, stun trap monk, open warrior. There's just so many, and they have so much non-DRing CC that they can just follow up with over. You saw right there is just stun into a trap, into a blind, into a DR. It just goes on and on and on. So the Mistweaver, I feel like he did a good job holding on to his trinket. Honestly, I would, you might have been tempted to use it at some point earlier in that chain, but waiting till that very end when he was so low, and then he just dropped the bomb. So even though he was able to get the cocoon off, it was too late because he was in the bomb, and ended up using it on himself because there was no target. So let me see. Sheep got to a full kidney, into a full trap, to a half sap, to a full blind, to a half beer, half kidney, quarter cheap, quarter MC, into a bomb. That is the CC chain that went down. Yikes. Very articulate. And I'm sorry for that delay. So we are on Runes of Lordaeron with the Thug Cleave versus the Mistweaver TSG.
That's gonna be really hard for really anyone to deal with. They've just got so much at their disposal there with that Thug Cleave set up there. So we'll have to see if the monk is able to find a way out of that, or if the TSG here comes in with some sort of cross pressure to disrupt that opener as much as they can. I mean, that DK does have access to multiple stuns coming. So
this TSG, I guarantee, is going to just try to run down the Disc Priest. I think that's their only option at this point. If this game goes on for too long, they will not have enough. The monk's not going to play again. My guess is they're going to do the same thing. They're going to open on the monk, try to bait a trinket or a cooldown, trap him low and switch, probably to the warrior. But like I said, Thug Cleave has so many different ways to open, so we're going to have to see how they want to open this one up with.
Yeah, the unfortunate reality of not having either a flare or some sort of stealth detection here is kind of unfortunate, because they do get their DK sapped. Both of them get feared. I believe one of them trinket. The warrior got dispelled out of that, but they've got the cocoon used. They're trying to get away from him. He's got the teleport, just barely getting back around the pillar, but Stun God is already there. Second Shadow Step with the sub bonus. Oh man, that monk is just gone.
That hurts. I don't know if you saw the cocoon up, because it was up for maybe
It was up for a millisecond. Yeah, I saw it was already used.
Insane amount of damage. Yeah, that's just some crazy pressure going out right there. It was, man. I mean, I was gonna say respect the cooldowns, but he did. He used the cocoon early, and it did not even matter. That thing disappeared instantly. Yeah, they broke the cocoon in the opener. That was insane. So
once they're doing that much damage, I mean, especially if both of the damage get crowd controlled, then that's really the kind of the rough part about running a double melee cleave that doesn't have a way to rogue setups like what Thug Cleave wants to do. Running a TSG like that, you don't have a way to get yourself into combat quickly, especially with the rogue kind of getting that opener sap on the DK, and they got the fear, which was even getting the fear and having it removed by the warrior. They still have plenty of methods unless they get those initial like Stormbolt setups into the fear off of the immediate trinket from the warrior. They're not going to have a way to shut down that damage in time to keep their
Yep.
their monk alive.
And you got to remember, you know, the rogue has Shadow Step, the hunter has his harpoon, disengage, and freedom.
Yep.
So they're both very mobile classes, and they can connect to that monk. You know, he
Yeah,
did get a port off. He got a good port off, but they were right back on him like in less than a second. And
yeah, that trick might have worked against an assassination rogue, but with Sun God running that subtlety, that second charge of Shadow Step, really showing where
Can't
it's
get away from
pretty
it.
powerful. You can't really get away with that.
So
very, very
it looks
well played
like
out.
Young Lads will take that series, and we'll be in the next one, Young Lads versus the Three Amigos.
Three,
The Three Amigos.
the Three Amigos? Is it?
I'm sorry, Three Amigos. No, the.
Okay. I was gonna say, I was like, because I wasn't expecting
Okay,
to
I
see the
apologize.
Three Amigos.
I apologize. Three
No,
Amigos. No, the.
that's
No, the.
okay.
Rephrasing it. But look, man.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's getting late.
I mean, I was really excited here. I thought we were gonna see some of the boys show up, but that would have been a really intense match if they had gone through here. I don't believe, have we seen Three Amigos yet, or is that
we haven't. That's a new one. We haven't played in I believe it's I think they have a Boomkin on their team. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm sorry. I was just looking at the roster right now.
They have one person who could potentially run a Boomkin, but unfortunately,
that's what I know. That's all I know. But you know, we'll see.
I mean, you could throw a Boomkin in
right
like
now.
10 different comps, so that doesn't really tell us too much at the moment.
That is a good point. So we're gonna be okay. So it looks like our resident Young Lads rogue needs a 1 second AFK. So take a second here while they set this game up. So chat, tell me, what do you think about this next game? What do you think about the Young Lads? Put type 1 for Young Lads and 2 for Three Amigos. We haven't seen Three Amigos yet, but you never know. Who's voting for the mystery team?
They could be channeling the power of
dominant team right now. Let's see what if the chat wants to type it out, or if not, one for the Young Lads, 2 for the Three Amigos. Let's see. They have a self-play.
Well, I think they're definitely going to be trying to earn that for the Three Amigos.
Not much enthusiasm in the chat for either team, but you know what? It's late. It's getting late. I don't blame them. We're all trying to,
We'll see. We'll see what they want to do with this one. But I mean, if they do end up coming in with some pretty strong burst here, really anything with a Boomkin, as long as you land the crowd control chains, is a viable team. So.
Yep, 100%.
Let's see what they do.
So remember, with the with the Disc Priest, with the Hunter, if they do get the Root Beam, they need to cross the pet because the Hunter can free the Priest out. So if they don't cross that pet, then Root Beam will do nothing. But it looks like we're gonna have an RMP Fire Subtlety versus a Mistweaver Assassination Rogue Moonkin. So again, with that Root Beam, they don't have the Hunter actually. So the Root Beam is going to be free. So that they're going to have to take advantage of being able to get that Root Beam off of something, and Noah having to either trinket it or sit it. So.
Yeah, and on the counter side as well too, Young Lads absolutely is going to want to try to capitalize on that Fire Sub combination, having both access to Smoke Bomb and just the sheer burst of some of the fire combinations there. You throw greater pyro, just about anything else that you got there. But with the Assassination Boomkin, I mean, this could be some serious damage. So pay very close attention, guys, to their Vendetta cooldown. If you see that go out, somebody is going to be in some serious hurry if they don't do something about it quick.
But again, with the RMP, they have, maybe no CC than the Thug Cleave, but they have a lot of control with the Sub Rogue. So this Mistweaver better be ready to play for 1 second out of every 10. If they set this up correctly.
And Sun God also switched up the very last second out of Cold Blood into Shadowy Doom here, so we do have a lot of options available.
It doesn't even matter.
I blinked.
I blinked,
and he was dead.
I actually did not. What kind of casters are we, man? Wait, when did it... Hold on.
I legitimately
let me rewind
my
this.
stream
Let me
froze
clip here.
like for a half second.
Give me a sec stream. I need to go to the VOD real quick. I gotta watch this.
Let's rewind that. Clip that. Play it back. My stream froze for reals.
What?
Here. I'm not even joking. Like I can't cast it if I can't see it, right? Like, I mean,
Dude.
I'll do this next match with my eyes closed and just
Okay.
using game sounds.
All right.
We'll do that.
Give me a second here. Give me a sec,
Oh
guys.
man.
Give me a sec. So let's see. Let's see. I'm actually going to the. I need to see. The VODs aren't up. Andolin, fix it for me. I need to see that. I swear to God, I was distracted with you. We were talking about the track until he died before I finished my sentence. I want to know what hit him. I need to see this.
I'm trying to get a clip of this right now.
Someone get me a clip.
I gotta rewind it.
Somebody clip that. I can't. I know it's late. I didn't see that. I didn't see that happen.
Okay, so I'm watching this right now on the replay. They got the cheap shot into the garrote. I think that there was either a double combust meteor combo or and they did get the meteor.
Instantly.
Was combust. Instantly. Wasn't a greater pyro, just a double combust meteor set up with a greater pyro blast.
How long did it take? 100-0.
Quickest. I want to say 4 seconds top, like something like that.
All right.
I've got the clip here. I'll post it in chat as soon as it's finished playing. But yes, oh my god, that was kind of insane. Let's not even gonna lie.
Look, man. By the way, I'm not gonna hype it up or anything, but Stun God, Sheep God, and a priest and that hunter are going to be participating in the AWC Cups. So be ready to see them on the top 8. I'm sure. I'm sure you see those guys on the live stream.
They can pull that off.
This clip here. So it was 2.5 seconds. We're getting this 4 from. Where are you getting this 4 from?
Well, if you're counting
from the cheap shot, from the cheap shot.
If you're counting from the cheap shot,
he went from 80 to 0 in less than 2 seconds.
I mean, if you get a full combust meteor off with a double pyro blast, that's actually nuts. Like, I was not expecting the fire to land that much damage.
Anyway, let's move on to the next game, guys. Sorry for that. That was just interesting. All right, so the next match is going to be on the Runes of Lordaeron. We're ready, and we're going to start this next game up right now. And
I think that they're going to be on their toes a little bit after that match. I don't believe they were expecting to take nearly that much damage.
I'm going to assume they're not going to die in 2 seconds. We're going to get some cooldowns out this time, even if there's that. That's going to work in Youngblood's favor. They could just probably walk on top of them and get a trinket cocoon at this point. And everyone's afraid of that now. So it looks like same comp, same teams. Let's see if we can get this game can drag out a little longer than that last one. Get a good game going today.
Well, something that they're going to try and do here absolutely to shut down some of that combo. They absolutely need to prevent that Fire Mage from getting off that kind of damage, because on the opener, that sub rogue is forced to use pretty much as much of his crowd control as possible. So they can't exactly do a ton of damage. So if they're allowing that Fire Mage to get the combust combo off, I mean, that's not going to work out.
I don't want to see this rogue open until they do. I really don't. If the rogue opens first, then they're going to be able to control him and just global him again. The rogue needs to be able to be in stealth and like garrote cheap, the mage. He needs to be able to peel that opener again. I don't want to see him come out before this, before they do. But he's got to be ready because they're going to go quick. So they're going to come in from stealth again. The rogues are close to each other. Maybe they'll be able to find each other. Oh no! They got the cheap shot with the hard lock on Oaken QT.
This is gonna be really quick
again, and he's down.
Hey. No, he got CS'd. He wasn't able to use Cocoon because he got CS'd on the opening combo. Really unfortunate combo, those guys. Yeah, but sometimes that's the way it happens if you're just casting the background there. You're able to be kicked for a reason.
But, on the bright side, that was a slightly longer game. Get back on for us.
Teeny tiny bit.
That's hard, man.
That sometimes happens, but I mean that is the power of the RMP, especially.
I mean, it's not even. You gotta respect these players, right? They've global D1s. I feel like if you use your trinket. And they have 2 kicks up. Maybe just throw the cocoon out. Maybe don't even cast. You gotta respect the fact that they do a large amount of damage. You've seen it. And if they have 2 kicks up, you don't want to get locked out. Maybe just use that cocoon off. But
I mean, at that point, there, if I'm that monk, I'd be just waiting, kind of in that little alcove, right between the gate doors openers on ruins, like kind of in that corner, so it forces the fire mage to come really really deep in and have the short line of sight around the corner. Because if he's standing here, you pretty much have to be like right on top of him to see that short corner. If they don't do that, yeah, you're just gonna get caught out and die in like 2 seconds.
All right, so the next one is You're In for Fun versus the Young Lads. So You're In for Fun was if I remember correctly, the Shadow Priest.
That's the SBR, SPM, yeah.
So as we can see, the Young Lads make real quick work out of Mistweavers, so I have to see how they want to deal with this opener from the Young Lads, because so far they're 2 for 2 in
versus
about
dumping
Mistweavers. So maybe we can I don't know. I don't know if the Shadow Priest of Sasford has enough to peel that kind of damage again. I guess the Shadow Priest could trinket the sap and just silence. I mean,
the only thing I really see them having as an advantage here, besides the swap, is the life grip from the Shadow Priest. But he's gonna have to burn out both of the rolls and the teleport from the monk ahead of time to force the sub rogue to burn both of his charges of Shadow Step. If he doesn't, he's got 2 of them. He's just gonna be right back there. So it is possible that they will make a difference. But it's going to be an aspect of an outplay move, to get any sort of advantage out of it. But that being said, I mean, they do have the blanket stun and the silence for the mage. But if I'm seeing this correctly, I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to go off.
We got that triple DPS meme team here yet again.
I mean, this is the blind pick for a reason. You don't really expect this coming. I think we do have I'm not sure if that's just a technical error on the screen here, or if the third person hasn't loaded yet.
No, I see a third person.
Okay.
So it might not be on it's the Shadow Priest Assassination Fever versus Hunter Fire Mage Sub Rogue. If I'm that Mistweaver, I would be very worried right now. I would be very worried.
I would too, because that's not going to be fun.
So,
not one bit. If you get shot, we
all be able to stealth, but it looks like, yep, they're gonna all be able to go into stealth. Sheep God is gonna come right out though and kind of 1v1 a little bit. That's kind of sketch, but they're gonna.
Oh, but the Greater Pyroblast got off though.
Yeah. Oh no, the Shadow Priest is in huge trouble here. He doesn't have dispersion because he was locked out. He gets the dispersion.
He gets it at the very last second. I'm actually amazed they managed to survive that. That was a Greater Pyro that was not used, unless they used Cocoon and I wasn't able to see it because of the technical glitch.
Oh no, Matchmills just trinketed and used Cocoon.
Oh no,
if they can live a little bit longer, I think Matchmills.
Now they've got the combustion. There's the block.
Ice block though.
Yeah, that's really the last thing they've got able to.
Here comes the kitty trading Stun God and Matchmills. They're both very low. Can they get up? They got the squad.
We fear they've got one down though.
Will be taken down.
But there's still 2 DPS active. I mean, if they get a kill right now, they could trade
Bucket
this
is
out.
actually extremely low into the half trap, but Sheepshot will go down.
No
Maybe
such
the
luck
DPS
for
to
round 2.
Cleave wasn't quite enough to gimmick that. They weren't quite enough to gimmick in for fun there. So.
They were close. There was an attempt. So hats off for them to give it a try. But I'm actually really surprised though that the Shadow Priest managed to survive that opener without having to blow disperse that long. I'm almost positive he got a Greater Pyroblast casted right in his face.
I actually don't know how. I feel like that priest should have taken a little more damage than he did.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I always feel like did they buff shield or something? I don't know, man.
I mean, so the young lads have been taken down. Their undefeated streak has been defeated, but we'll see if they can take the series from them. They need to win one more.
We'll have to see what they want to do with this one. I mean, obviously, I think they're gonna probably go back to a standard comp, but you never know.
I'm gonna think the Thug Cleave or the RMP. I'm gonna think the RMP, and I think that Mistweaver might disappear again. But they're gonna go with the Thug Cleave.
It's gonna do a vanishing act.
And their prop, yep, that Mistweaver gonna have a hard time playing. He's either gonna die or not play the game.
We'll have to
Yo,
see
pick
what he
one.
wants to do.
Oh, see how they want to play.
Greater Pyroblast, Meteor Combustion to CS Lockout. I agree with you, Shape God. I have no idea how he managed to survive that because I saw the Greater Pyroblast come off. The only thing I'm wondering is like maybe the meteor.
Did he fade? Did he fade it? Like, did he trinket fade? I honestly wasn't.
I don't believe he trinketed. He did
I
get
don't know.
kicked,
I have
but...
no idea how that. I don't know how he looked.
Well, the thing is, he got kicked, but at the very last millisecond, like there was 0.5
yeah, but that much
seconds
damage
left. Jumped
like,
out of the
he dispersed
palm.
at like 30%. There's no way. I don't know.
Yeah, he got out of the very last. Well, he couldn't disperse until the very last millisecond of it. But
yeah, but I mean, I'm saying when he dispersed though, he was still like at 30% through all that. Anyway, let's get into this next game: the Thugly versus the REM.
I think I'm not sure, Sheep God, but we'll have to find out. They've got their initial sap here on the Rogue. Very unfortunate for him for fun. He's got the kidney. They've got the cheap shots done. There's the AoE fear. So many people on their team of Urine for Fun are crowd controlled. There's the cocoon, but it's just depleting very rapidly. There's the cast protection, but I don't believe it's going to be enough here. They've got, like, what, 4 seconds left of that?
Yep, and he's going to be off Slendy really soon here. You got a full trap
into
on
a full trap.
They are going to make a swap. He Rogue instantly evasions there and starts riding, but he gets kidney on the.
But he gets kidney from behind from the shadow step. Oh my God! Stun God with the 200 IQ play.
Oh man, is he going to be able to live this?
No, not in a full blind. His monk is locked out. They already burned the trinket. Stun God using 200 IQ there to shadow step behind the target, and if you are attempting to use evasion or dodge, you cannot dodge a kidney shot or a stun from behind. Very, very impressive use of that right there. Well played to those guys.
Oof.
So going in for round 3 here, I mean, that was very impressive. Perfect timing coming out from those crowd controls. I think that the big moment of that match, though, honestly, was that their Rogue getting counter-sapped from Urine for Fun. I mean, you never really want to have that happen if you've got a Rogue duel going on. Having your primary crowd controller get crowd controlled. Yikes.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, like you said, if you with evasion, you can get hit by behind. So that Rogue turning around, even with the step, he was kind of just turning around, running away. So you got to be careful, giving your back when he's got his stuns up. And then
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like the monk trinketed something really quick, and then got instantly blinded. I'm not sure what he trinketed. I feel like it was something really quick. I wasn't quite paying attention there. I don't know if you saw, but yeah, I don't remember. I feel like it was something really quick. I maybe he could have helped.
Are you talking about the monk's trinket? Sorry, I was.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what it was.
It's got to be either on the trap.
Well, he didn't have it for the blind, so I think.
I think it was either on the trap
the blind.
or
yeah, if he could have held it, I think they could have lived there.
Yeah.
But. All right. So again, the Thug Cleave versus again probably the RP. It's not loading for me. I don't know if it's loading for you.
Yeah, the third person is not loaded up for me on the screen here, but there he is. Yeah, looks like they are trying to run the same comp here. I think that we're gonna see good things either way. Should be an interesting match here going for the third round, as it's currently tied 1-1. But that being said, what do you think here? That they've got some sort of advantage going into this?
I feel like the bigger map isn't really going to help either of these teams, honestly. I feel like the bigger map might be a little more inconvenient for the Cleave, but being that they just get the opener with them both being in stealth, and Exomorph being the only stealth on their team, they have a free opener on the Monk and the Priest, so they're going to get the opener they want no matter what, unless they get unlucky caught out. So we'll see how they want to open up again on this one. The flare goes down, not quite finding anybody, but he's getting really close to the Rogue. I think he might find him here.
They did get the spin off, but it unfortunately did not hit him. Now Stun God is going in pretty hard off this. They've got the kidney on the monk that they want. He's still hanging on to his trinket as long as possible. Looks like they've got a little bit of fear set up here. A triple fear coming out here. They're doing so much damage to my screen. Unfortunately, froze for half a second. Yeah, they got this. They trinket and the swap.
And swap. Another Rogue is stunned with the evasion up. Is he gonna go down? Oof.
Yeah, it's once again finding that stun on top of evasion. 100-0, and unfortunately, yeah, like you said there, with that overlap of cooldown, both using the cocoon and the swap.
And
I
his
mean,
trinket there also.
exactly. They don't have a way to heal up for his teammates. So a little bit unfortunate from there from You're In For Fun, but very, very well played by teams Young Lads. You guys are doing pretty well.
They are making plays, doing work out here tonight.
Absolutely.
That was, I'm still, that one.
The 2-second kill, yeah.
I'm gonna watch it again real quick. One, he's dead. He's just dead.
It's gone. Dude, no, seriously.
We weren't even thinking about it. We were talking about
that monk just got Thanos snapped. Like that dude just disappeared from existence. Yeah. It's like Sheepdog God just pulls out the gauntlet. He's got all of his Infinity Stones going. Bam! This dude is just gone.
That was
character deleted.
All right, so our next match is going to be Three Amigos versus Respect.
All right, we'll have to see if these guys have the respect for this one. I mean, the legendary Three Amigos name, though not with the people we're used to seeing it on. We'll have to see if these guys can channel their namesake here if they're going in for this. Because, I mean, we've seen pretty good things from both these two teams. I want to see if they find a way to extend the match duration a little bit longer from Three Amigos. And for Team Respect, I want to see them land a few more crowd control combos.
Yep.
But,
absolutely.
Yeah. Thanos got X'd. Yeah, there's your healer name. There you go. Next one, Lilera, dude. Oh, man. But, yeah, we'll have to see if these guys come together here and find a little bit of either more crowd control, longer matches, or a cohesive game plan. Because we've seen good things from this so far, but I think they can step it up just a little bit more, show us where they've done some good job of improving throughout this tournament. But with that being said, here, Paradise, what do you think that really is stuck out from either of these two teams from what we've seen from them so far?
Well, Respect, I'm trying to go back here and just look at some of these things we had going here. Their Holy Pally, I feel like they had the Hero Cleave and they had the Boomy DH and the Boomy DK. And then Three Amigos just had that one Mistweaver Assassination Boomkin, right? Yep, Mistweaver Assassin Boomy, and they're gonna play the Hero Cleave. So again, the Mistweaver, all three of the Three Amigos team are very good targets for this Hero Cleave here. They could all die if they, you got to be really careful with what they trinket here. They could, very well die without using anything. So,
yeah, they've got damage coming out in spades, especially if
they damage coming everywhere. Yeah. So they got to be really careful with what they trinket at this point. I really don't want to see another monk die with that cocoon today. I don't want to see it again.
I mean, it could happen. I doubt it will, but the thing I'm going to be paying attention here on this match is the Demon Hunter's cooldown of Metamorphosis. If it's 5 minutes or 2 minutes, because it's going to determine whether or not it's either a 30-second duration or a 15-second. Usually, if it's the short one, we're going to see windows of bursts here coming out for the DH. But if it's the long one, then I mean, that monk is going to really have to find a way to keep himself up for the remaining 15 seconds, and then they should be okay afterwards. But the gap time in between, we're going to have to see what they do.
So it looks like they're going to be opening up on the Boomkin here. No real CC coming out quite yet, but they're both just kind of cleaving down the Rogue and the Moon.
They've got that Rubin, though.
He does.
Did he trinket that? How did he get out of that?
I'm sorry, he reversed it. But the blind comes out with a kidney shot onto the Demon Hunter. He does breed darkness, it looks like, but will end up trinketing anyway. I think he could have held on to that there. But yeah, a lot of damage coming out from both teams. Incarn is still up, both the Demon Hunter and the Death.
Full rep though.
But this could be the cocoon there as well.
Yeah, they did burn off the cocoon, and they are getting quite a bit of pressure. And they use Bubble and Bop simultaneously, both on the DH and on the Paladin for his own self cooldown here. I think he's trying to avoid getting crowd controlled again, but I'm not really sure if that's necessary, as he didn't have to burn the trinket on that blind.
You have to be really scared here. Yep, Kinney onto the Demon Hunter, no trinket. Vendetta comes out with a full Paladin.
There's a kidney. There's a triple leg sweep.
And he's gonna go right down
not
right
in
there.
Time. That darkness
very well played. Very good follow-up crowd control on that Paladin. Trinket clone right into the leg sweep. The Demon Hunter didn't have blur quite yet. had no
Yeah.
trinket, so he sat that kitty in the bomb with the Vendetta, just destroying him. That was just very well played by Three Amigos.
By Team Three Amigos. Yeah, absolutely though, and really, really well played by that monk in particular, getting that position properly to land that triple leg sweep. Very impressive from those guys. So we'll have to see in the future if they want to change this up a little bit or make some sort of adjustment for the strategy, because they were getting a lot of crowd control off. They got the full blind. They didn't have a trinket on it though. So I'm thinking that the Paladin must have thought that they weren't really in as much pressure as they could have been, you know,
Yeah.
having to hold on to that. But we'll
I
have to
mean,
see
yeah.
in future matches.
I think the Paladin thought he was fine because he had the trinket sack up, but Demon Hunter had no trinket and was in the bomb. And then, that insta leg sweep on the trinket on the clone kind of sealed the deal there. Even if he wasn't in the bomb, he couldn't get the sack off, after it ended. So it was just really, really good follow up right there and took them out. So let's see what our next map is going to end up being.
Absolutely.
Looks like they're still getting a map decision right now.
Yeah, they're probably going to try to decide here whether or not they want to go for like a wider map or something like a close range. Because I mean, the power of the Boomkin and the Assassin Rogue is that you can kind of really play on either mode with both having the Shadow Step and the Root Beam. Like, really, no way that you want to play against them either at a long distance map or at a close range. They have kind of the advantage on either method of play, but for different reasons. But in this case here, with them running a different healer, I don't think I've ever seen somebody run this before. Ret DH with the Resto Druid here.
Resto Druid, Ret Paladin, Demon Hunter.
I mean, I'm a believer in the Resto, but he's gonna have to play really well to keep them up against some of the damage that these guys are capable of. He does have overgrowth, so he can put all of his hots up in one burst, but that does have a fairly long cooldown. So we'll have to see what High-Rise wants to do with some of this pressure that got coming in here.
Yeah. Again, I like you said, I don't know how I feel about the Resto Druid here. Like you said, it's gonna be really hard healing these guys. These two DPS as a Resto Druid right now with all this consistent damage as these the Boomy and Assassin have. They can even probably just kill the Druid if he Ironbarks something too early. They can make a really good swap on him. But it looks like they're gonna come in and open up here. Boomkin's gonna come immediately out, and let's see how they want to follow this up. They cannot Root Beam against this. So if they're gonna get a Hodge on the crowd fave, the Bark's gonna instantly plan that really safe. But that is the wings, so that's probably a good trade right there.
They've got a little bit of pressure going on here. Now, is he running Crusade Wings or is he running Standard Wings? I think he's running Crusade with a triple stun coming out there from that DH. And getting a lot of damage under this red, and I think he's probably going to have to use something. There's the Shield of Vengeance. They've got the full blind going into the Druid with the Thorns up.
Shield comes out as well.
Yeah, really unfortunate. I think they're trying to hang on to the Trinket as long as possible for that Druid because he's obviously a little scared for his own life, I'm assuming. But having to burn both of the Paladin's major defensive cooldowns is kind of unfortunate that quickly, especially with him still under a lot of pressure here. They've got a way out of the Root Beam here, but that Paladin's still taking chunks of damage from the Boomkin, and I don't think he's got enough left to survive this.
Yeah. Cyclone didn't even. I don't think he incarn off.
Yeah, that's kind of the reality with the rest of Druid.
But it wasn't even that. I don't even think it was that. He has both his Shield of Vengeance and his Divine Shield at the same time. Like, Shield of Vengeance is a really good defensive and using your most important defensive overlapping, and that's a kind of a big deal. So
yeah,
I feel like that kind of sealed the game for those guys right there.
Yeah, it's pretty punishing if those go off simultaneously, but at the same time, it's like if they don't have a way to restabilize the hots from the rest of Druid, like there's really no way for him to keep himself up long enough for them to have any chance of getting back.
And it's also, Redstone aren't, they're not too tanky and they don't have that much freedom in their horse. So, it's not like a Leech Warlock who could just, press their wall offensively every minute or something like that, Zanrock. But
every minute, what are you talking about?
Legion, dude. Just press the wall, why not, dude? I got chaos. I'm just throwing shade, man. But that
3 minutes out, dude.
That bubble is a 5 or 4 minute cooldown depending on which which talent you take, and that is a very long cooldown, and it's a very big defense. So that if you have that and you could stay offensive because you have that in the backup, if I get in trouble, I'm not gonna die. I have my bubble up. If you don't have that, safety net, it's just really devastating. You really have to play a lot more careful.
Yeah, absolutely. And with these guys leveling out there, I believe that is the last one of the 5 sets. I'm not sure if we're doing a second round of the 5 wins here. I'll have to go confer with Dark quick. But that
Yeah.
being said, here, I mean, that was really good, well played by both of these two teams. So I think that we could have seen difference, like a couple of different strategies come out that would have changed a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Still
I
really
think it was just a little communication error.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just mispressed the buttons, and it happens. It really happens. So no one's not, we're not judging them on that. Stuff happens, but especially like really major cooldowns like that, you really got to be careful what you're pressing. At what point in the game. So
Yeah,
all right.
sometimes
So
that can happen.
on that note, guys, we're gonna take 5 minutes. Our finals are gonna be up right after this. We'll get you those names of who made it to the finals in just a minute here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going to be tagging out for the night. I have some things I got to do. We're going to be subbing in another caster in my place. So I just wanted to say before we head off, thank you so much for having me. I hope I did a good job.
Yeah, thanks, Dirk.
Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate all you guys watching, and hopefully you enjoyed everything. And I'm sure I think is it Dark Pen or Andolin who's going to sub in for me?
I think it's Dark Pen, but either way, though, Paradise, thanks for showing up, man.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me, guys, and we'll be back 5 minutes or so. Thank you so much.
See you guys in 5 after the break then.
And real quick, the top 4, I apologize, are Young Lads, Mop Dream, You're In For Fun, and Three Amigos. They are the top 4 teams playing in the finals. So get ready to look forward to that.
All right. We'll see you guys after the break then. Peace.
Yes, sir. Take care.
Hello. Welcome back, everybody, to the Kings of the Hollow Season 2, Week 1 tournament. Zanrock, and I am now back with Darkpen here. Hello, buddy. Go on.
Hey guys, how's it going? How's it going, Zanrock?
I'm doing okay so far. Seen some pretty good matches today. You ready to see some of these finals?
Yeah, I'm excited. We're back, first week of the new year, and I'm excited to see who comes out on top. Of course, we've seen a couple of these guys like last year, but it's really cool to see them back and trying to compete for the season this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys love seeing this sort of content, or you love seeing more of these tournaments, or hey, you want to see an option yourself for playing these, go ahead and throw us either a follow on either this channel or Twitter, or check out our webpage over at resurgentsb.com, because we've got everything set up for every streamer we've got going on, all the tournaments, all the sign-in details. If you need it, just go check it out. It's what it's there for. But that being said,
Definitely.
Dark, what are you looking forward to in this final setup? I mean,
It's funny because I think we're getting some. I'm getting some feedback from some of the players that they think they got it in the bag. So
Ooh.
some smack talk being laid down. I like it. We'll see if the teams can come through and back it up. So the first series, it looks like it's gonna be Young Lads, our number 1 seed, versus Three Amigos, our number 4 seed. And we're diving into Grand right now. Who you got on this one, Zanrock?
I mean, I gotta go with the Young Lads, but I mean, at the same time, I don't know. They could throw in some curveballs here. They appear to be somebody's running a double monk though. What is going on here? They've got
Oh man.
double Windwalker monk. I mean, this could be some touch death fun times here. We'll have to see where this goes. But for the people that are new here, Dark, do you want to let them know about the format for the finals here? For
Yeah. So okay. So yes. So we're gonna do a best of 3, which will be the semifinals. So semifinals are best of 3, and it'll be the 1 versus 4 seeds, and the 2 versus 3 seeds. And then the winners of that game will go into a best of 5 grand finals. And the way the prizing is going to work this season is players earn points for each win that the team gets each week. So not series win, but game win. So you get 3 points for a win. And then at the end of the season, we'll do an invitational for all the top point earners. And we're hoping to have a nice prize pool for that. But anyways, into the action.
Looks like these guys are getting in real quick here with that double monk. They've got the Cyclone out onto the Holy Paladin, and a quick cocoon coming out for the monk of Three Amigos. He does absolutely not want to have to deal with that double Windwalker showing up on him. Now, they do have one of the bobs being used, I believe, on one of the Windwalkers that's currently a pretty decent. Oh, no, he's got the one of the cocoon, or the Cyclone. So he's getting a little low at the moment. He does have Karma used. It is transferring a decent bit of damage, but at the same time, it is breakable if they continue to go into him pretty hard. The other monk is also dropping pretty low, but I think it's going to be okay for now. What do you think, Dark? Do you think he's got something left in the tank?
Yeah, I think it's okay. We see a full rep landed, which forces the trinket on Oaken. He gets kicked out of it, forcing a Bark Skin from Crowd Fave. So Incarn and Bark Skin being used from Crowd Fave. Both Karmas out of the Windwalkers, but we still have Sack and Bubble from Stun God. So Younglad's is looking okay. Full clone going on a Stun God. Maybe some pressure on his Zenjutsu here.
That's quite a crowd for CC chain that they've got, yeah. I don't know. With that double Slag Sweep, though, they've got quite a bit of pressure coming up this. They've got the first sap, but unfortunately that rep does DR with a monkey cap. I'm not sure what they've got followed up off this.
Yeah, there's a Smoke Bomb being used. It doesn't look like they have enough pressure, though.
Yeah, I think it got sacked mostly by the Paladin there. I believe he is running also the short cooldown sack. It's only a 2 minute there. He doesn't have the second charge anymore, though. So that is a little bit of a change from some of the last season of PvP that we've noticed here. That being said, the Cyclone that was full on the Paladin is getting bubbled here. They're taking quite a bit of damage on their Windwalker, despite the fact he's being in a kidney. He does have Karma up in the next couple of seconds here, but now that Paladin doesn't have the bubble as well, he could be a swap target. But at the same time,
need to live long enough for his trinket to come back up in 15 seconds, but the monks have Karma back, which is really good, and Sun God eats a clone, which could actually be good for them, because they do have Karma, so he could use Karma if he gets in trouble. Which might be very soon here. He has Trinket Karma. It doesn't look like he's actually going to use it. He's going to save it, which is actually a really good play. Ballsy, but good. So saving the defensive cooldowns for Younglads. A Root Beam forces the Trinket out of Stun God. Zenjutsu might want to pop Karma here, and he does. He chooses to pop the Karma. So reverse pressure going on the crowd here. We see a double leg sweep, in cap coming out. It's killing the crowd fave. Small repentance, but he gets the bubble off just in time. It wasn't overlapped, so
they're swapping onto the rogue as well too. They've got so much damage on both of their two targets right now. The rogue and the druid were very low, but then they just got topped up by that wave of crane. Impressively strong crits there coming out from these guys. But that the Mistweaver is actually running a little bit low on his mana, so we'll have to see if this ends up costing them later once that Paladin gets out of the blind. If they manage to stabilize this, I think that Younglads has a really good chance to win this right here.
Yeah, and I think that clone might have actually just saved him because he had 5 seconds on his sack. If they had just pumped damage, they had nothing to keep him alive, but I think he might be okay now because he has sack back up, and that's their only cooldown. So they might be able to reverse on the crowd fade and get the kill here. Oaken's almost oom, so it's looking like that might be the win condition for Team Younglads. It's just ooming Oaken.
Yeah, and they did just use their thorns as well too from the Boomkin, so he doesn't really have much of any deterrent to keep these double melee off of them. Now with the swap there, doing so much damage, he might even be behind the pillar there. I don't know. They did get the sack off there at the very last second. They've got
this is in-card. They need to run right now. This is scary damage from crowd fave.
Yeah, they do have quite a bit of damage, but at the same time, that was Cocoon, and I believe the last of the mana from the Mistweaver. This could be really problematic, and the Boomkin on the Paladin, taking a ton of heat there.
Yeah, he gets a nice wall off, though, but he still gets leg sweeped. It's half. He's about 30%
And the rogue gets dropped almost immediately, though. There's just so much swap pressure. Once the Mistweaver ran out of mana, he's just not able to keep up with the Windwalker Cleave. So many monks of this. They're just doing enough damage to prioritize just going on every target in range there. Really powerful, and we can see that right there when these just dropped from a quick swap. I think that took about like 3-4 seconds there. Really impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. What's also impressive is the fact that these guys, like, they just come out, they like to have fun, and they'll just play, like, whatever comp.
Yeah.
Like, they're just playing alts, like, double Windwalker, Holy Pally, and, like, cleaning up in the semis. Like,
yeah, what was the last time you saw that before?
Yeah, and they just play on whatever and have fun. That's what it's all about. So, double Windwalker, Holy Pally, what the heck is that? I'm assuming we might see a comp swap, maybe not.
I mean, if it works, it works, right? Maybe they've got some sort of like strategy going on with that one, just being able to be more mana efficient with the Holy Paladin and stall out with his cards.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's the whole idea, like running the Mistweaver. But we'll have to see what they go here on Runes of Lordodon. And remember, guys, the semifinals are a best of 3, so this could potentially be match point for Younglads if they do get this next win. But what do you think, Dark? Do you think they've got any sort of swaps coming up here, or comp strategies?
I'm not sure how I feel about the map pick. Like, they might be able to run out. Like, when the Boomkin pops Incarn, like, I'm assuming like that's when they want to run away and play defensive. But on such a small, like, enclosed map, I would have to say, wouldn't it benefit double melee?
I would agree with you as well too, and not having to cast there is really big benefit on the tomb, because really you can chase them around and still keep doing damage. You don't really have to constantly get a stun and start a cast and then hope they don't run out of range. Being a double melee on this one, unless they fight in a really odd corner of this map, you're gonna get a better advantage off being a double melee. So we'll have to see if the Three Amigos has something up their sleeve. But that being said, with the rogue coming out here, they may try to get some sort of sap pressure. Otherwise, these monks are going to be getting in very quickly, getting in combat, and allowing their paladin to dodge a sap by healing it. Now, one of them is running Ring of Peace here. I believe that is the Mistweaver. So we'll have to see what he wants to do with it.
Yeah, that's the Mistweaver. So leg sweep, short leg sweep, and a clone. Clone's being swapped onto the Mistweavers. No real pressure coming out just yet. Kitty shot onto Zen. Bot being used to get out of that. Zen's dipping pretty low here. Maybe a Karma being forced, but no, just a bot being used. Half clone being thrown on Zen. And
I'm almost wondering if they're trying to bait out a cooldown with it, with that spam clone while Incarn is up. Like once they're doing damage to try and maybe get the cooldown burned into the Cyclone. But at the same time, that Incarn is going to be up for another about 10 seconds here. They've got the double stun pressure up on, but is it going to be
my
enough?
God.
They're just doing so much damage. I think that was the double touch of death just bursting down crowd favorite. It was not even a chance to use Barkskin renewal there. Very, very impressive coming out of that double win.
Absolutely insane. So Young Gods booking their ticket to the finals tonight of week 1. That's pretty impressive double Windwalker play. Curious to see what comp they choose to go with in the finals. Will it be their famous RMP, or maybe we'll see another unique comp out of them? Who knows?
I mean, with these guys, it could be anything, but it appears to be the move for the moment. But with that being said, we're going to go into our second and third seeds here. I believe that is...
Looks like Mop Dream Reformed versus You're In For Fun.
Yeah. So I'll have to see what these guys want to do with that one. But if I remember correctly, these guys have, I think, played a match against each other before. They did do a really interesting game comp with a lot of CC being traded out here.
Yeah,
it was actually the first.
So this was the first series of the night, it looks like, and it was a 2-1 for Mop Dream. So the rematch.
Rematch going in for the final punchings. Ooh. I'll have to see what these guys
confirmation from the admins here.
Yeah.
So if we're looking at what comps they're running, You're In For Fun is playing Shadow Priest Rogue Mistweaver, I believe. Does that sound right?
I think they were running that for one of their matches, but I believe they switched up a little bit from time to time. So.
Yeah, okay, so we see the Assassination Rogue, Shadow Priest Mistweaver versus Warrior Hunter Mistweaver.
Yeah, with that being said there, though, I'm not really sure if this, unless they have some sort of a new strategy coming out here, I think that this is a little bit in favor of the KFC with the Serve Fury combo. They just have so much damage that they're just pumping that Shadow Priest, forcing a bunch of cooldowns to Mistweaver, and probably just going to take a series lead from them. But, I mean, we'll never know. Maybe they'll get a better sap open this time. We'll see some more crowd controls going out. But this is going in for the semifinals here, and this is the last spot. So we'll have to see who comes through here. Who you got money on?
Yeah, I think I'm a huge Mop Dream fan at this point. We've seen them in like almost every single one of our tournaments, so I gotta root for the boys. But what You're In For Fun doesn't look like it's going to be easy to get past.
Oh, he does get the sap, though.
Nice sap.
Ooh,
beautiful.
This could be really important here, though, because if they get some initial pressure, there's the blind getting an initial trinketed. They do have their traps still available, but they're going to want to wait a few seconds to let that DR from sap come off a few seconds. Now, on the turnaround, they did get the trap on the Mistweaver of You're In For Fun, forcing a disperse from the Shadow Priest, stun coming out. They are in a lot of trouble here if they don't have something else here, because he doesn't really want to have to burn the cocoon, and unfortunately he did have to use it there. He still has life swap available, but really, what do they really have here in terms of damage outside of the Mistweaver monk getting deleted right now? What is going on, Dark?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like Blood Arena was able to save quite a few cooldowns there. He used his trinket, but he still has way in bubble, so I think Mop Dream's looking really, really good right now. They have life swap. That is it, though. Actually, Mistweaver has trinket as well, so that could come in handy. Might want to pop Embrace any second now, though. He's taking a lot of damage. It must be hard for him to cast right now. But nice heals coming out from Matcha Mills. Able to top him up there. Maybe some reverse pressure able to come out here. We see Wave Crane pop by Blood Arena, getting in there aggressively right away. And full kidney shot going out to him during way. Taking a lot of damage. Nice board away, though.
Yeah, that was something we saw in the first game where he was just able to survive off of the first port, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do it a second time. Now, they did get the cocoon off on the Shadow Priest above the execute threshold, so really, really nice play out of those guys. But with them taking this much damage, they do have swap available. They do have Way of the Crane available, but I don't believe they really want to have to burn either of those two, because with that full fear onto the Mistweaver of You're In For Fun, these guys, the Shadow Priest is taking a ton of damage, and they really don't have that swap that they're looking for available yet onto the Mistweaver of Mop Dream. So
No,
with that
they
full
don't.
trap here, what do they got left, Dark?
Well, both mana bars are depleting actually pretty rapidly from the Mistweaver Monk, so that could become a factor pretty soon here. Both Cranes are up, so that's also a factor. The Shadow Priest has Trinket and Swap, so that's probably the next cooldown if they're able to force it. But the Mistweaver Matcha Mills is doing a really good job of. Hold on, there's massive damage going out. Triple Fear, Kitty
Triple
on a
fear.
Duelist, forcing a
Oh,
turtle. That was a
that turtle at
really
the
nice
last
swap.
second.
Really nice swap. If they can do that one more time, they might be able to take the game. A nice sap out, maybe pressure on a Duelist here.
Yeah, and they
And
managed to get most of that pressure just from a smoke bomb. Now, the Vendetta is once again usable from the Assassination Rogue. They did just have to burn the Cocoon onto the Hunter of Team Mop Dream, but that Shadow Priest is taking so much damage. Caught into a stun, gets the life swap off of the last second there. He's got evasion of active, but oh my god. The Monk is just taking stun after stun and just not able to top him up. I believe the Cocoon came up at the very last second, right out of that incap chain after the stun hammer bolt from the warrior. So much combo is just thrown into him, and it's just locked out from being able to use his healing cooldowns. And unfortunately, he is falling from that, and they do take game one for Team Mob Dream. Very impressive play out of these guys.
yeah, I would have been curious to see what talents the Shadow Priest was running, and if he was playing the Greater Fade with the 4 seconds, because you can honestly you can do that every 45 seconds and rotate that with Disperse and Short Life Cocoon with Life Swap. I mean, that's a lot of cooldowns to go through, and I feel like they lived long enough. Their Monk went Oon. Maybe if they had gone on the Hunter early and gone every 45 on the Shadow Priest's CC,
Yeah,
I
that
think
could be possible as well too. Yeah.
I think if they had gone every 45 on the Hunter, they would have been able to put out the pressure they needed. But it seems like there was like a lot of dead time for the Shadow Priest Rogue team where they just like weren't doing enough pressure. So maybe we'll look for that next game, a little bit more pressure from the Shadow Priest Rogue and more frequent swaps.
Yeah, and something we saw them do as well too is as you're talking about the swaps, but onto the Mistweaver when we saw it last time. If he's not able to get out of range and get that portal off, they very well could get a kidney into a leg sweep combo stun and just lock him down before he's able to escape and get a finisher kill onto the Mistweaver of Team Mob Dream with the amount of damage they're able to put out because of the chain stuns into the silence from the Shadow Priest. But as we've seen here, Tolvaron is a huge map. So really, we're going to have to see some pretty strong play out of them and maximizing that distance for the Shadow Priest to be able to do something. Because we noticed last time that the Monk of Team Mob Dream was caught out slightly farther than his teleport on the far pillar to your left there. Not really able to live any further than that. So that could be the equalizer here. We might see a repeat of the first series. But I don't know, man. This Fury survival is just pumping damage. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think that these guys have it what it takes, Dark?
I think Mob Dream's looking pretty good into this one. Like just the melee pressure on the Shadow Priest makes his day pretty hard. But the opportunity is there. I think if they just go a little bit more aggressive, maybe he just spams a few more casts in their face, they could definitely turn it around.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he gets another opener sap like that last time. I think they did really well off the opener when they did manage to get that. Thankfully, the Flare not catching him out this time. He's throwing out those whirlwinds. Does get the sap, and their opener is pretty strong here. We'll have to see if he manages to get an initial blind immediately off that, or if they're going to use a kidney swap. But the Fury Warriors coming in there. They got the fear over onto Urine for Fun's Mistweaver. They've got the stun from the Hunter used and forcing the dispersion out. Thankfully, really good timing there for the Shadow Priest as the trap and the leg sweep just went out into the Mistweaver, and he did not have to trinket either of them. Now, despite that, the evasion used from the Rogue, I don't know here. What do they have left in the tank once these offensive cooldowns run out here, Dark?
Actually, it looks pretty good for both teams. Like they have a lot of cooldowns still. They all have their trinket. That's what I'm looking at right now. They all have their trinket. So here's a trap. This should probably be trinket bubble or maybe a life swap.
Yep,
so we see the trinket bubble come out from the trap. So next go is probably trinket swap. They need to get something going. They need a kidney shot and a go onto the Hunter or Mistweaver. like ASAP, because right now they're not looking too good. They don't have the offensive pressure they need. They need to get something going. So
And
now
there's
if
that
we
way
take
to Crane.
so much damage, it's a smoke bomb being used onto the Hunter. Leg sweep.
It's
Sounds
still
of the
10 damage.
mystery.
Oh, that was so close. If they had got a restun after that, or maybe some sort of crowd control onto the Mop Dream Monk, they just managed to force the life swap coming out there as well too over onto the Rogue, who does not have evasion for this, and he is taking quite a bit of damage. Having to cloak, but that's not going to do anything against an execute, and that is taking him down. Mop Dream taking the quick 2-0. Very, very impressive play out of these guys, and well played by both teams.
Yeah, Mop Dream booking their ticket in the finals.
So I think I think these two teams have actually faced off in the finals before. I'm gonna have to check me on that one. But Young Glads versus Mop Dream in the finals for the first best of 5 series in the new season here. So let me hear it, guys, in the chat. Who's you got your money on? Young Glads or Mop Dream? I want to see this.
Young Glads or Mop Dream in the chat. Let's see it right now. Who you got for week number 1 championship? Who's gonna take the crown and be Kings of the Hollow this week? Also, don't forget, guys, they get points that carry over, so these wins they add up,
They matter,
and
yeah.
they will matter later in the season, and you'll want to pick them up and compete every week. So.
And that's the other benefit as well too, being able to compete in our new season here. Really, if you guys want to show up and be a part of these, I mean, you can just as easily make a name for yourselves by showing up and being part of these matches. Because honestly, this could be anyone's game here with the way that some of these brackets are showing. But with that being said, I think we got some interesting matches here. I'm really curious to see what comp Team Young Lads is going to throw out here. They've been really surprising with, triple deeps, oddball comps like double Windwalker, RMP. They've got a whole bunch of aces up their sleeve. So I'm really curious to see what they want in this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually have no idea. It looks like we're seeing a comp swap from one of the teams here. And I wouldn't be surprised if both teams actually comp swap. It's in the air right now. I don't think either of us has any idea what they're going to queue. I would guess to see Stun God on Rogue and the RMP. And hopefully Resilience goes on his Windwalker. But who knows? Who knows? We have no idea. We're waiting for the admin to confirm the matchup here. And it's no doubt going to be a good one, no matter what comp they choose to play.
No matter what they've shown consistently. There's some of the best players we've got here.
Yeah, and they're definitely familiar competitors at this point. Like, these guys have queued into each other like so many times in our tournaments. Every week or every time we've done one, these guys have queued into each other. So I know that that was part of the smack talk I was hearing. Actually, was that one of the teams thought they were going to take out the other team if they fought them in the finals, and here they are. So let's see if they can back it up.
Benefits of being the admin on that one, you get to see every last little bit of communication between these two teams. So I have to say they want to do it this way once we've got this match going. But don't forget, guys, if you love seeing this content, or if you want to know when either the next tournament is coming up, or even if you'd like to be a part of it, don't forget to either follow us here, over on Twitter, or check out resurgentsb.com. We've got all sorts of stuff for you, and that's where we got the website set up for. So if you want to see more, help support us. But as we are loading in here, looks like we've got a kind of an interesting one. Is this legal?
Well, yeah.
I see a large shield over on the warrior.
Oh shoot. Yeah, that's a big yikes. We'll have to confirm with the admins here.
Sub Rising Kick versus the illegal team. Okay, all right. Stun God throwing it down in the chat here. So once we get a confirmation here, I'm not sure if they want to go through this. We're gonna see it, but please spare me from having to do this if it is legal. Oh God.
It is legal.
It is legal.
It is legal. The game has started. Here we go. Grand Finals, week number 1. It's a prompt warrior. Who would have thought? Here we go. Cheap shot on a Blood Raina. Massive damage. Massive damage. He hasn't used any cooldowns. Nice job running away there. Getting away without any cooldowns being used. Cheap shot going on to the demon DK. And the team being leveled out. Smoke bomb being used on the DK. Pops AMS.
They've got the
going on to
CC
Blood
on the
Raina.
Mistweaver. They might be able to land the damage here. Now, there is the instant trinket off the blind. They've got the kidney shot to follow it up. That DK is still taking a ton of damage. Has to use the Dark Pact into a fear right after that. If they got any other CC on the Mistweaver, there's the cocoon burned off. Now, this could be really interesting because with the Prot Warrior having Vigilance, he does have the ability to absorb quite a bit of damage from one of his teammates. But if they're constantly forcing the swaps between either him and the DK, now the DK only really has IBF left. That Monk doesn't really have anything left. So with that mind control, removing the warrior entirely from the fight for the moment, we're going to have to see if they want to make something of this with the IBF being burned off at the DK.
Yeah, and there's a swap on a Blood Raina, massive stuns, kitty shot, and a cheap shot. He gets really, really low, but he'll be okay. It's your boy also taking a lot of damage, pops his wall, and he'll be okay as well. Both sitting about health, big swap on a Zenjutsu on the other side Young Glads, and they're going to pop barrier, and I don't think they'll be able to kill through the barrier there. A nice play by New, and both teams stabilizing here, just clashing in that barrier, not even caring that they're taking reduced damage. And it looks like they're going to go back onto the warrior here.
Yeah, they're trying to get a little bit of a poke off here, but I think the biggest issue we're going to really see with both of these comps here, I mean, not that the Mistweaver's mana is going to be much better than the Disc Priest, but both of these are not really the most mana efficient healers. But another mind control, removing the damage reduction from the Prot, they get a kill onto the Mistweaver inside of a kidney shot. Really impressive play coming out of
Yes, Stun God just tracking down Blood Raina and just waiting, like knowing that he has no cooldowns. That next kidney shot was guaranteed the kill, and he just landed it, and that was it. I don't think Blood Raina could have done anything there. And a nice mind control to get the warrior off as well, like you said.
Ridiculous, man. These guys are throwing out every trick in the book to nail down some actual pressure on that. Really impressive job dealing with the tanks. But yeah, we'll have to see if they want to continue with that strategy. I mean, I honestly thought that match was going to go longer than that, but I guess that's the benefit of having that priest there, nullifying some of those vigilance the reductions there, and with the DK only limited to a certain set of cooldowns, I don't believe they're going to be able to keep themselves up once they run out of everything. But yeah,
I don't know. Tough one for Team Mob Dream. We'll see if they swap it out, maybe change out of that tank spec. But who knows? At this point, I have no idea what they're doing. Obviously, the Mistweaver of Mob Dream is a Windwalker main, so they're pretty much in the finals here on their alts or like their off specs.
They're trying to show up, just whatever means they got.
Yeah, exactly. Just getting those points for the season, and that's pretty cool. Maybe they'll be able to pull something out here. Maybe get on their mains. Who knows? Or maybe they'll try and survive again. But I don't think that would work for them. I think Stun God's team, Young Glads, I think they're a little bit too strong to try and play that against them.
Yeah, that's another thing. I think the biggest fight right now, I think, is going on the chat of our tournament here. People throwing some smack talk against both sides, either Stun God or the tanks. We got flames going on either. So either way here, we're gonna see an interesting matchup, regardless of whatever shows up in our next round here. But I believe it's going into Tolvaron. So I'm kind of curious what selection of strategy they're going to go for here. Because I don't really think the Tolvaron is really benefiting a tank comp, so I'll have to see what these guys queue up with.
I still really like the idea of the all-in on the healer. I think that
could work.
I think if they go on the warrior or the DK like once or twice, they get the trinket, maybe the bubble out of the Windwalker, the Mistweaver. I think as soon as Blood Raina has no trinket, or is missing some major defensives, I mean, he's just so juicy. He's primed for that kidney swap, and but we'll see if he can change it up here. Maybe make some outplays happen.
Yeah, and they are in fact running the Windwalker with this one, and with the Stun God Sub-Rogue running Shadowy Duel again, this could be really interesting. I think we might see that the healer dive strategy you were talking about. But with the TSG, I think that's the exact same thing they want to do with that Disc Priest. Just run at him until he flops. But with that being said, they're getting that combat early. They get the initial kidney shot onto the Mistweaver monk of Team Mob Dream. These guys are trying to put as much pressure as they can. They've got the cheap shots done. That's the last one they're going to be able to do for a little bit, gripping that rogue away. The Mistweaver escapes just barely. His cocoon is down. He doesn't really want to have to burn anything else, but that Avatar Bladestorm doing some serious work right now for the Warrior. What do you think here, Dark? You got anything off this?
Yeah,
Yes,
big
with
damage
that
on the
PS.
Senjutsu. He's actually really low. He opts to pop Karma, and also defenses from Drama being used. So both sides getting fairly low there and using major cooldowns. Drama looks to be in pretty big trouble here.
Yeah,
His
that
comps
Dark
only
Pack
has,
being
like,
used
5%
and
health.
S down. They've got the cheap shot. So much damage being leveled in that DK. He's got nothing left. He has to use Way of the Crane. And if this doesn't get a huge heal right now from that Mistweaver, that DK could be dropping here in the next couple seconds. 2 and 1. He goes down. Unfortunately, not in time. That Mistweaver is not able to get enough heals out from that Way of the Crane. Just
Yeah, really
annihilating
nice
that
CC
DK.
onto the Mistweaver. They got a kidney shot into a paralyzed into a short leg sweep while the
Absolutely.
DK was low health. That was insane. Nice plays, nice CC onto Blood Reyna from Team Younglads. Seal the deal.
Yeah,
So that's
taking
2-0.
a quick 2-0 here for a best of 5 for the finals. Now, we'll have to see if 2-0 ends up being the most dangerous lead here for Team Young Glads, because sometimes you do see that they may get a little overconfident, and Mob Dream coming out with some oddball thing that sends to work. But we'll have to see what these guys want to do. I'm excited for this potentially final match or for the set point here.
Yeah, this could be it. This could be the end of week 1 right here. The next game, Mop Dream looking to hold on, but of course they've racked up quite a few points for the season, so it's always a good thing. But if they can even, here's the thing, even if they take one game, they get that extra bit of points, and I don't know, I'd like to see them make a comeback here in the finals, but hey, it's 2-0. It's not looking too good. Younglad's looking really, really strong this week, and it'd be interesting to see what map they pick next, or if they play the same comp even. So far, it looks like they're both just sticking with what they got.
Yeah, I mean they've been pretty consistent so far with the setups that they're running. I mean, obviously with the tank comp, they switched over to playing in arms instead. But not that I'm complaining too much about that. At the same time, I don't know. Maybe they want to go with a different, more close together map or something to try and capitalize on some of the melee damage that they have. But
yeah, well, it looks like they're gonna do exactly that. It looks like they're picking Dalaran Sewers as the next map.
There's that close
pretty
map.
tight map. Nice and
Well,
enclosed, so the melee able to just connect constantly all game. Maybe it might be good for Blood Reyna as well, considering they're running DK Warriors, so they can connect all game, and Blood Reyna might be able to set up some nice ports using the levels of the 2 different levels in the boxes, and maybe he can escape, but I don't know, he'll have to work some magic.
You're absolutely right about that one. The Mistweaver has been taking quite a bit of pain here, but this is a little bit of a throwback comp. One of my favorite to say if they have the priest or a paladin here, but not my favorite to go against here with a DHDK. Or sorry, my bad. Hunter DK. We're missing a P for PH here. But I'm not sure if they're going to end up running that one. But that being said, they do have quite a bit of damage able to come out here from that sub. That sub rogue with both Shadowy Duel available and locking out. Unless there is some great communication for that team, they're going to be able to neutralize practically any of the healing cooldowns, no matter what the heal is.
Yeah, absolutely. So the gates are about to open. Game number 3. This could be it. This could be the end of week 1 here. And Younglad's look to close it out. Following Stun got in for the sap.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like he manages to get it there. They've got, I think, was he flared? No, he didn't have to burn Vanish there, so it must not have gotten flared out. Their initial pressure is going in pretty hard. They got a Diamond Ice Trap over onto the Rogue there, starting to nail out some of their initial pressure, and I believe they're going onto the Hunter over at Team Mob Dream. But at the same time, Young Lads' healer is taking just as much pressure. They're going to have to use Turtle there. Thankfully, but unfortunately,
they
they
overlapped.
burned Cocoon. Yeah, I was about to say the overlap from those two is going to cost them big. But at the same time, look at the pressure from Team Mob Dream. They're just throwing everything against that priest. He does not have PS. He doesn't have Divine Heal. They're just taking tons of damage right now, Dark.
Yeah, huge. That was actually very impressive. I don't know how he lived through that. It looked like he got kicked and stunned at like 5% health. The barrier must have kept him alive. He's able to top himself.
Fortunately, that hunter goes down in the last second. Their last ditch potential. That priest pulling out every stop in the book to keep himself alive. And if he didn't, that would have been a little bit of an equalizer. But as it stands, Young Glads showing why they are the champions this week of Kings of the Hollow. So very, very well played to both teams here, and a big shout out to the team Young Lads, showing everybody why they are in fact the champions with that excellent, excellent play from these guys. So I don't know, Dark. Are you looking forward to these setups here?
I'm looking forward to the season. It looks good. It looks like everybody's tuning in and supporting it. And I can't wait for the following weeks and to see who wins the second season of Kings of the Hollow.
Yeah, the second season.
It looks like we have some more interest this year, and hopefully we can keep coming back every Monday and just rock these tournaments and come up with a community 3v3 league and winners.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And with that being said as well too, guys, with if you're wanting to support this content or support us, throw out a follow, give us a subscription, or throw out the checkout, the links over in the bottom here for the resurgentesp.com. Everything you want to see, if you want to see any of our streamers, if you want to see the upcoming tournament schedule, the current point standing, all of that, that's over on Resurgent ESP. So seriously, guys, if you want to be a part of this or help support us, you do us a huge favor to help check that out. So thank you very much for all the competitors here. Big shout outs to Young Lads for winning the whole tournament, and thanks for both Paradise and Dark for being my co-caster. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. See you next Monday.
See ya.